The therapist who said I didn't have to come anymore begs to differ with you on the I'm not crazy diagnosis.
No, she wanted you to stop coming during therapy.
Sir, this is wildly inappropriate. You have to stop.
I graduated!
Welcome back, everyone, to S1E1, a show where each week we pick a different sitcom, watch just the first televised episode, forgetting anything we might know about the future run of that show, rate and decide if it's a show we want to greenlight or cancel. This week we're going to be talking about Raising Hope. Raising Hope went 88 episodes over 4 seasons on Fox. Today we're talking about episode 1, which was called Pilot, originally airing September 21st, 2010. So to get things started, I'm Jay Gags. With me as always, half the boys, Joe and Ferg. No Gordo this week, maybe Nick later. What's going on, guys?
Hey.
I got pHs to balance. That's science.
Yeah, Ferg, you picked Raising Hope. So to jump right in, what led you to bring this one up?
So in my doom scrolling through Instagram, for some reason I kept getting clips from this show, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty funny. So I gave it a chance one day, and I really enjoyed it. I loved My Name is Earl, and at the time I didn't even know it was the same creator. And I wanted you guys to watch it, and I knew you wouldn't just on my suggestion, so I picked it to force you guys to watch the show.
I feel like that's like when the only time I ever do things for my birthday is if it's something I know people won't do unless I make it my birthday thing.
Also, same creator of My Name is Earl and Yes Dear, and was like a story editor on the last 2 seasons of Family Matters. That is a career right there.
Hey, there you go.
I had never seen this show. I had heard of it, but in my brain, I don't know what I'm mixing together, but I thought it was a hospital show.
I definitely heard of the show, know nothing about it, or like knew nothing about it at all. It just, I don't know, it didn't, for whatever reason, like it lasted 4 seasons, but I never in live time saw it or nothing really popped up. And
again, this is also no indictment on Fox or whatever, but like I just feel like we never know of anything that's on Fox.
It feels like a running theme, and it's weird because like Fox has had plenty of popular shows,
right? And we watched Fox our entire lives, right? Like from Married with Children through King of the Hill and The Simpsons, and well through into our 20s. But I don't know, some new show comes up. Even that new one we covered with Dennis Leary a few weeks ago or a month ago, or whatever it was, where I was like, "What is this show?"
Dutch?
Going Dutch. We're like, I just don't even know what's on. I mean, I don't have traditional cable anymore. I don't know if either of you still do, so I feel like I see less ads for that stuff than I used to, but
yeah, we're done with cable. But yeah, so this is weird. So like to jump right into the numbers, IMDb 8.1, Rotten Tomatoes 96 critic, 90 audience. So like all really high scores. And for 4 seasons and for a show that its fan base really likes it, you would think they would put more behind it or like get it out there because it seems like it's doing well. But yeah, I swear I never even saw a clip, at least to my remembrance. Have not seen anything up until doing this episode.
Yeah, I don't know how it snuck into my algorithm.
I think the fact that streaming those shows that they knew there was a life for it, because if you remember when we covered that other Fox show with
Ghosted,
yes, or Ghosted. I'm sorry, I'm fucking tired tonight. I had to buy it to like watch the whole season, and then of course like a month later they put it on streaming. But like that was a newer show that wasn't even available on a streamer, right? And this has been over for
that one was weird because none of us ever even heard of Ghosted, and it was like,
especially with the people involved in it. Go back and listen if you guys haven't to our Ghosted episode.
With that cast and like our demographic, that made the most sense in the world for any of us to have all known, and nobody had any clue it even existed.
Yeah, and forget whether or not we liked it, just have seen it or heard of it. The fact that just no one's even heard of it. And then, yeah, again, with this show, it just seems odd that this one completely escaped me. And regardless of how we feel about it, it's just, with all the components involved, you'd think it would have at least popped up. And this one right now, as far as I believe, if you do want to watch it, Hulu and Disney Plus both have it available there, so it's available to watch. And then for us, S1E1 Pod, and that's where you can find all our socials. So go ahead and do that.
One thing I want to bring up real quick, too, before I forget, Jonathan Leahy, I had to look up who the music supervisor of this was. Bravo, sir. Like, the music choices in this show are so good. And then I looked up what else he's done. And I don't know if you guys have seen Stick yet, which I feel like we're at like a 50-50 we could cover. That's the Owen Wilson, Mark Maron golf sitcom on Apple TV.
Oh,
It's really, really funny, but
How long are the episodes?
I think they're half hours. So, but the problem without commercials are probably 30 minutes. But I'm on the.
it'll probably be a solid 30.
It's more though that I'm like, I don't know if it's necessarily a sitcom. It's like that sort of thing where it's more like dramedy-ish a little bit.
I think we've reached a point where if it's funny enough, it's like we've kind of not always with us. It's mostly sitcom, but comedies. As long as you stick in that
There's a
range.
lot of gray area in the term sitcom, so we can make anything work.
But I will say, if you like, the way the music is used and what kind of music is used in this, it's very similar in that show, and they're both very funny.
That's one thing I was going to bring up later, but like it doesn't pertain to any particular scene. So since you brought it up anyways, a show like this, how much money are you, especially if you're not like really putting it out there?
And it's on the streamer, so they paid for the rights. Yeah, they paid the rights to stream. So like Dead Milkmen are making some money off of this, right? Loggins and Messina are getting a paycheck.
When you hear things like, oh, The Office had to pay $10,000 just for Michael Scott to say 2 tickets to paradise or whatever, like, and then you have all these hit songs being played throughout the episode, you go, well, did they spend $1 million just on music?
Yeah, it's very interesting. Also, I hope Eddie Money got some of that money before he died, because he must have died right around that same time. I love me some Eddie Money.
No, it was like a bit later than that, from when like the show was already, The Office had already ended.
Oh, to do the stream, they had to keep it in.
To like perpetual use. Yeah, it depends on how the contracts work with those sometimes.
Funny thing is, they'll splurge on shows like this, like all that money, but shows like Drew Carey, which were mega hits and I think would still do well on streamers, they will not.
Yeah.
Well, it's because they paid, the syndication rights were different, right? That's why we were able to watch it forever is afterwards, but I don't think anybody saw this coming, right? This like weird new way of watching TV that just exists forever and ever in the ether.
That's like a longer conversation to have, but like I feel like still to this day when it comes to streaming, there's a gigantic gray area when it comes to everything. Like most actors are like, I don't think I'm being paid for this and I should be, and I don't know how to explain it. And
know who I feel bad for in these scenarios? There are people like Tom Hanks's brother who's made his entire living doing the Woody voice,
yeah,
right, and like the cartoons and stuff that he doesn't do. But now they're just gonna like AI everybody's voices into things. So like you used to have actors, or even like my daughter's really into Beauty and the Beast right now, right? So I'm down the rabbit hole where we're watching it, like looking at what these other actors, because this is before every Disney movie had to be nothing but celebrities. So like everybody who's in it is like a Broadway person because they can like sing and act or whatever. So you look at their IMDb credits and it's just like miles and miles and miles of them doing the same character for 30 years. Like they must have made a fucking killing just doing one voice in one show forever. And like that gravy train is over. If you're in a cartoon now, if you're like a funny voice in Despicable Me by Despicable Me 6, you are not in this anymore. They don't care about you for the cartoon.
Disney's fairly loyal from what I know. Ferg's more the expert on this stuff, but like they still get the same dude doing the goofy voice for all eternity.
Well, I appreciate that, I guess. But that's, to me, that's a little different because it's just an actor. They're probably not paying him the same as they're paying like a huge A-list celebrity who comes in and does, one movie or whatever.
But Jim Hanks is doing all right. I think it's Jim. I'm almost sure it's Jim, and I'm not going to look it up.
I mean, like if he's smart, he saved and invested that money, right? Because that is a killing to make.
Toy Story
and hopefully
5's
he got the
on
rights
way.
for perpetual. The Toy Story 5 with the. Have you seen the trailer yet?
Yeah, I love it. So
yeah, the trailer looks great. I definitely got a little emotional.
4 was so bad that it has nowhere to go but up.
But you must be happy that Dave Coulier is not making that genie money anymore.
Did they make he got the genie gig from Robin Williams?
Yeah, he was on all the animated series. Yeah.
I mean, they could have just got somebody who could actually do voices, and that probably would have been helpful. Not somebody who just does the same voice over and over again.
Well, you couldn't tell the difference, so clearly he did a good job.
Well, I never watched to be fair, I never watched the Aladdin TV show, so I don't know firsthand.
I don't want to go down too far of a rabbit hole because I feel like we have so much to talk about in this episode, but you brought up Beauty and the Beast. Watch like the little cartoon things they did like outside of the movies, and like it's so obvious that all the voices are different in those.
Yeah. They didn't hire the kid who played Chip to go on perpetually for some reason. Was that kid?
It's me, Chip.
Did he have a chunk out of his head when he was a kid and was made into a cup?
He's just a disabled person in their asshole to name him Chip.
Like, there's definitely somebody listening right now screaming like, Joe, you're a fucking idiot. Full disclosure, I'd never seen Beauty and the Beast until like 2 weeks ago. That was not one that was big.
Welcome to Parenthood.
Yeah, that was not one that was just big in my sister didn't watch it, or by the time she died, I was too old, I wasn't watching it, or whatever. So I have a lot of questions about everything that's happening But, you know, like, there's like, hi, Chip, and everyone turns back into a human. It's like, obviously that guy wasn't part candlestick or whatever, right? That dude wasn't also a clock, right? Bonjour or whatever. But to name the kid Chip, he was a human baby who turned into a cup with a chunk taken out of it. His name is Chip. Leads me to think that he was in a bad accident at some point and he has a piece of
Maybe
something in his body
tooth.
missing. Was it a tooth?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of something less tragic, but
I don't know.
no, my niece is obsessed with Beauty and the Beast, has been for years, so I've watched it so many times. And it's the one Disney live action movie that I think is good.
I've never seen the live action one. We've talked in here before, though. I remember watching or seeing the commercials and stuff for the TV show, the live action when we were kids with guy who played
Ron
Hellboy. What's his
Perlman?
name? Ron Perlman, yeah.
Anyways, so there's definitely a lot to unpack in this episode, so I do want to jump into it. Show opens and we see Jimmy. Jimmy's the main character of the show. We see Jimmy and his cousin Mike, and they're like doing like landscaping type work, and you see them skimming a pool. And then like in the back, you have someone like lawn mowing on like one of those stand-up lawn mowers, like not the sit-down tractor ones, but like the one you just like stand and ride around, like almost like it's not a Segway, but like, you know, similar in that.
Yeah, it's like a Segway with a lawnmower in front of it. I kind of want one.
Yeah.
Right? I might do yard work if I had one of those.
I have to buy a new lawnmower anyway this year, so like that kind of crossed my mind, but I'm pretty sure those probably cost way more money than just buying a conventional lawnmower, like replacing mine.
No doubt.
The two of them are talking about a party they went to the night before. Jimmy's saying, like, where'd you go to last night? Like, after the party, I tried to ride some dude's Great Dane all the way to the water tower and back. Mike goes, oh, remember that kooky chick that I was carrying around on my shoulders? I left with her. And she convinced me to get a tattoo. And, like, he pulls up the finger mustache. I wish Gordo was here, because
Gordo is the only person we know who actually did this, yeah.
Gordo has the finger mustache tattoo. And he's like, oh, that's awesome. I want one. And that's when, like, the guy in the lawnmower, like, goes by and, like, blows, like, all the shavings at them and into the pool. And it's like, oh, why does he think that's so funny? He's like, this is our job. Jimmy, he's the boss, man. Like, you think I like it when he pushes me in the bushes when I'm taking a leak? The thorns hurt my wiener. By the way, boss driving by in a Social Distortion shirt. So that, like, flagged my eye, like, immediately.
I'd like to think, though, that he is a pre-prison bound Social Distortion fan only, like you're supposed to be.
You don't like any of the more modern stuff? See, I like all of it.
I don't even like Prison Bound. I love the first record and all those early singles, but I mean, I feel like, not surprisingly, like when he came out of jail and everything, he was like, I'm changed. And I totally understand that. It's just the music is not like my thing anymore.
Got a little folky.
Yeah, and like, I think his solo record that he did, I actually really enjoy that when he covers like Dylan and everything on it. I think that's really good.
Was that where the Don't Drag Me Down?
No, I think that's on like Somewhere Between Heaven and Hell. That's like one of the 90s ones with like Ball and Chain and those ones. Yeah. And like, again, they're like fine, like radio rock songs or whatever. When I saw them live and they played it, I was like, this is fine. They stopped being a punk band to me at that point. You know what I mean?
Sure. He goes by a second time and like, again, like hits him with all this shit. And this is when Jimmy's like, that's it. And he walks off. And the guy's like, where are you going? He's like, I quit. He's like, you can't leave mid-skim. Do you have any idea how unprofessional that is? Like, after you see him being everything but professional and he's the boss. And then as he's saying that, he looks over and he sees that Mike's taking a piss in the bushes. He like sneaks over and like pushes him in, and like Mike does the full on, like he's like Homer into the bushes. Like he completely disappears into the bushes when he pushes him in.
This joke pays off so much better like the next scene when you realize who everybody is. And you're like, wow, what a shithead move that was.
You kind of flash it forward a little bit and you see Jimmy as he's walking towards his house, and at the same time his mom's like heading to work. Like they're honking the horn for her. She does like she works for like a housekeeping company, and they cross paths. They talk real quick. She's like, what are you doing home? And he's like, I quit. There's going to be more to life than cleaning the same pool over and over. She goes, there isn't.
That's such a great like adult parrot thing to be like, look, just so you know, life is life. Like this is it.
And by the way, the mom is Martha Plimpton, who like from the Goonies.
Yeah, she's done a million things. But I feel
she's
like
been in a million things,
our generation's always just going to be like, well, the Goonies, though.
She's the girl from the Goonies.
Yeah, like I shot Andy Warhol, but you're the Goonies lady for our generation for sure, right? Yeah,
She aged very well too.
Yeah, she looks great.
I do want to say this early, because like a big critique I had of the show is I don't love the main character's delivery on anything. There's something about his cadence that comes off like I don't know. It just feels like a very like stale, bad acting thing. And I know it's the character, and I'm not familiar with his other work, but I did struggle with this early on because it felt very like reading the lines.
It sort of reminded me, and the haircut didn't help, but did you guys either watch the Kroll show? The like sketch show he did for a few years?
I saw very little of it. I saw a little bit, but
they had like their own version of Degrassi where he was like doing a main character from Degrassi, and his character in that, he was like, oh, hey, Toons. Like that reminded me of this kid's delivery. It felt like they were very similar. If anybody out there has seen that and like thinks I'm crazy, let me know. But if you think that's correct, also let us know, because I like to be validated sometimes at the insane thoughts that roam through me.
Nobody's seen that.
I saw a little bit of it, but like nothing stuck. So I just remember Nick Kroll playing a bunch of characters.
I think Too Much Tuna was like the one thing that like pushed its way into the like ether of the universe, because like they did Broadway shows of that for a few years.
I don't know. I've only liked Nick Kroll in two things ever, and it was obviously The League and
Cavemen.
Yes, and Cavemen.
I'd be so happy if you genuinely meant Cavemen, though. You were like, and you know what? I've come around to Cavemen.
You asshole, though, because you made me forget the other thing.
Is it? Do you like Big Mouth?
No, I've never seen it. I don't dislike it. I haven't seen it.
I love Big Mouth. Was so funny. Also,
Big Mouth is good, but it does teeter on the line of some. It's very vulgar. Sometimes it like teeters on the line of vulgar just to be vulgar.
Oh, Parks and Rec was the other one. I like
he's good in Parks and Rec. The douche.
The douche.
Anyways, Jimmy heads into his house, and as he's going, he's like, "You forgot your shirt again, great mama." And she's just going like, "Nah." She like just makes a noise. And Mama's played by Cloris Leachman.
And bless you, Cloris
You're
Leachman,
welcome.
because in the end of her life, like her last like 20 years, she did not give a fuck. She was like, I will do anything for a laugh. And kills it. She's so good at this. Like, I always think of her too in that episode of The Office where she's in the movie with Jack Black.
Yeah.
Which is like maybe one of the funniest things she's ever done. It's like so fucking weird, you don't expect it. Reverse the button. Like, I always think of that.
Cloris Leachman, obviously best known in television for being on the show Thanks, the one about the Pilgrim Settlers.
That's the one thing from her time.
It's
where
another
I'm like,
Mike
you should have
Furlong
had
pick. You're welcome.
some discretion, Cloris. That was the one miss you shouldn't have taken.
That show was great. You're all crazy.
Yeah, Phyllis and the Mary Tyler Moore Show. We haven't done Phyllis yet. Phyllis is a spinoff.
Yeah, there is a spinoff. I mean, she's so great in the Mary Tyler Moore Show. I mean, imagine that's what most people know her as.
So many spinoffs.
I have a little bit of a regret doing Mary Tyler Moore when we did it, because that could have been a fun month where we did that, Rhoda, Phyllis, and Grant. Yeah. Like all those shows.
Whoops.
Yeah.
We could just make a playlist of them.
Yeah.
As a bonus episode, we should all one day sit down and watch Ed Asner's movie, The Wrestler. But if you guys have not seen it before, I would love to watch it.
I've not. Guys. I'll just do that for funsies. Yeah.
It's really fun. It's a good movie.
So Jimmy heads into his room and he pulls a poster down and starts writing on the back, which I thought was really strange. I don't know why it was the back of a poster, but whatever. And he starts writing out Jimmy's life plan. And you just kind of get a little like montage of him like kind of working on it. And you flash forward a little bit. And when he's finally done, he raises it up to reveal it. And after all this time, it was just a drawing of him riding a bald eagle with the big tittied blonde girl.
It's like a girl in a bikini with big boobs. Yeah, I feel like this is like when you...
Riding an eagle.
When you go... It's very specific to like the south and then the northest part of the north or whatever. Like when you go to like a flea market, you're like, yep, somebody has a woven blanket of that design on it. And it's $49 and I want to buy it.
I got this painted on my van.
It's always next to like a life-size standee of Elvira holding like a thing of like Miller Genuine Draft or whatever. And you're like, we're in heaven. This is the greatest place.
Shut up and take my money.
Seriously.
So right after that, his mom knocks on the bedroom door to be like, hey, it's time to eat. You know, your father's home. So he heads down. He's like, Dad. And then when his dad addresses him back, that's what reveals that his dad was the dickhead boss from earlier. Which I did like. I did find that to be like a good little reveal. I didn't see that coming.
I also love this actor, Garrett Del Hunt. He's in two
awesome.
things I talk about all the time in this show. He has a great story arc in Justified, and he is amazing in The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. One of the most beautifully shot movies of all time. But he's in a million things, and he's amazing. You know what he's great into? He's the sheriff who gets muck ducked by the bad guy in No Country for Old Men.
Oh yeah,
he's whenever he's in anything, I always perk up. So when I saw him in this, I was like, I immediately am like leaning towards Greenlight immediately. So good.
So it's funny because he was another one I struggled with a little bit in that, like, I felt like, I don't know if it's like his facials or whatever, but like he just felt a little stiff at times. I would say an overall theme I have, and I don't want to be negative, there's a lot about the show I like, and we'll get into the end when we get to the end. But I did feel like there was a little bit of issues with some of the casting for me. I felt like that might have been the thing that switched this from like an all right show that did okay to being like a mega show. I feel like it had all the pieces to be huge when I looked at a lot of the writing, and I felt like some of the casting choices I wasn't huge on. And that's just me, because you guys like this guy. But I did have a little bit with that.
Yeah, he's one of the characters that makes the show for me. I don't know if
Me
it's
too,
because
yeah.
I can't see anybody else in the show because I've now watched it all the way through. That's the tough part about doing this show.
You have the benefit of hindsight. I don't.
Yeah.
And I do feel like obviously after 4 seasons things will change, but that's kind of where I stood with that.
Yeah, having never seen it before, I feel like I was predisposed just because I like him as an actor so much that I was like, oh, I'm so stoked he's here, that I probably didn't look at it in the same lens as you either.
Oh, and by the way, Nick, hello, welcome to the episode.
Hi, Nick.
Hey, out.
Not to go too far back before we go ahead again, but just out of curiosity, was Raising Hope a show you had ever seen before this episode?
No, this completely. I have never heard or seen anything about this show.
Yeah, I had heard of it, just never saw it.
Did you think it was a show about a hospital? Because for some reason there's a show that I can't think of, and I just want to know if anybody else thinks of it that like has a similar name.
No, but I was thinking for some reason of another show also with Brett Butler. For some reason came to mind when I heard Raising Hope, and I don't know why that she comes to mind. Like I was thinking of like an older like 90s show when I heard Raising Hope. This is not what I was expecting at all.
Weirdly, if they made a show like that now, though, Brett Butler could play the mama in a bra character pretty
That's
easily.
true, yeah.
I could see that.
Joe, after a quick Google, there was a show about a hospital called Saving Hope.
Okay, so I'm not crazy. Okay, so when I kept hearing it, I was just like,
Well-
probably some hospital drama. Well, on this specific instance.
I'm not incorrect. Yeah.
Thank you, yeah. The therapist who said I didn't have to come anymore begs to differ with you on the I'm not crazy diagnosis.
No, she wanted you to stop coming during therapy.
Sir, this is wildly inappropriate. You have to stop.
I
Donnie
graduated!
I'm so sorry.
It feels so good.
Why do you have a Wonder Woman doll, sir? Let me just go through the fantasy, thank you. Why do you have a Dusty Rhodes doll bent over this way?
They all talk for a minute. There's like a little bit of tension, obviously, because he walked off the job, and they would have liked for him to be there because there was a dead bird in the pool, and I guess Jimmy's the only one who's willing to pick up dead birds.
With a skimmer? I mean, if you have a pool,
You don't have to palm it.
you have to just get used to it, though. Like, if you own a pool, like, you are going to pull out dead animals from it. That's just, unfortunately, how nature takes its course.
In the conversation, Mama walks in, and she starts talking to Jimmy. She goes, how was work, Wilfred? Did you sell any encyclopedias today? And that's when we find out that, I don't know if it's like dementia or whatever she has, but she sees Jimmy as her dead husband. And then it's like, oh, just play along. Memories are all your great grandmother has left. And then Mama walks over and just starts like making out with Jimmy.
Well, she's smoking too, though. She, like, full-on tongue kisses him with a mouthful of smoke.
Because when they finally pull her off of him, like Jimmy coughs up a bunch of cigarette smoke.
So my original watch through, this is when the show won me over once and for all. I was like, all right, I'm in. Buckle up.
The scene killed me too because they played the nose goes, which is something we all did so often, usually at Jay's house when the doorbell would ring.
Yeah.
Which then evolved to Moose Ears.
How did it evolve to Moose Ears? I don't even remember how that happened.
Nose Goes, I know, is a game that's like everyone does to some degree. I don't know where Moose Ears came from or if other people do it.
I don't
It's
know.
also funny to think of, though, at that point, we were all like 18, 19, 20, right? Like, we're all like in the best physical shape of our entire lives.
And the thought
our
of
game.
walking 2 feet to open a
I
door.
don't want to go down one set of stairs to open a door. And now you're like, oh God, I need the steps.
Moose ears and fives.
5s, yeah.
You know what it was? Is there was a lot more of us back then, and if you got up, you were losing your seat.
So you would not have a seat. Yeah. You had to sit on the floor. Yeah. So in this case, Nose Goes is because Virginia walks over to the freezer and realizes that they're all out of bubblegum ice cream. Is that a flavor? I mean, I'm sure people make bubblegum flavored ice cream. That doesn't sound in the least
Not
bit
one
appealing
I've
to me.
ever seen.
Yeah, I've never had it before.
Popsicles, but I've never heard of ice cream.
But I will say this, I don't like bubblegum flavored things in general, including bubblegum.
See, I really like
I love
regular
bubblegum
pink bubblegum. Yeah, I always get the Orbit one, like the bubble mint.
Oh, no way. So like even like in the days when we were younger and like chewing bubble gum, if I was to buy like Bubblicious or something, I would always get like a grape or a fruit flavored one. Like I couldn't chew the bubblegum flavor.
That's why they called them fruity gags.
That is exactly why they call me that.
I had like a thing where forever I loved smoking while chewing that bubblegum flavor bubblegum. That was like for a full year. It was like my favorite thing in the world to do. And then,
Ew. The gum didn't get weird tasting?
no, it just, well, I mean, I'm sure it did, but like, I don't know, the whole melange of it worked for some reason. And somebody explained to me how bad it is for you to chew bubblegum and smoke at the same time because like all the toxins just go into the gum and then you're just like chewing. I don't know. It was a whole thing, but it was a depressing day.
Friendly's has bubblegum ice cream.
Oh, I'm sure plenty of people make one. And they make everything under the fucking sun now.
If you think of a lot of the ice creams you used to get had bubblegum in them, right? Like the faces would have like a bubblegum nose or like those like triangle things with the bubblegum ball in the bottom.
Oh, at the very
Oh,
bottom.
those things. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not even ice cream.
It was almost like a sherbet or something.
More sherbet.
Yeah.
See, okay, say that again. Say what you just said again. The ice cream.
Sherbet?
It's sherbet. I thought it was sherbet. It's sherbet.
I've been saying sherbet for 40
Me
years.
too.
Yeah.
I'm
I don't
not
want to be
kidding.
the stubborn
I
old
am-
guy, but even with that knowledge, I'm not changing.
Ignorant Americans, it should be.
I am 39 years old. I walked by the freezer section. I saw a jug of sherbet, and I was like, "There's no R in sherbet. Like, what the fuck?"
What the fuck?
I had one of those recently too with Mr. Perfect.
Did you think it was Henning and not Hennig?
I've thought it was Henning my whole life, and it's Hennig.
Yeah, I had the same
See,
thing
I knew
until,
it was Hennig.
until the wrestling documentary started coming out where you like they say his name. I was like, wait a minute. But yeah, sherbet, I never knew. That's weird. I'm not going to change saying it though. I'll say that one wrong and I'll own that and I don't give a shit.
Sorry, Wade Bugs.
I always want to say it like Ernie walking into a room like sherbet.
So anyways, when it's discovered that they're out of the bubblegum ice cream, that's when the nose ghost thing happens. And Jimmy, because he's busy, he loses, goes, oh, it's not fair. I was washing Mima out of my mouth. Or Mama.
That made me laugh
Mama.
so fucking hard for some reason. What a funny situation to be in where your great grandmother thinks you're her dead husband, so you have to deal with her tongue kissing you sometimes. It's so fucking funny.
Have you asked Joe if Cloris Leachman does it for him yet?
I think we just assumed.
I thought it went without saying.
Yeah, Cloris Leachman's in a bra in this episode. We're fine, yeah.
Jimmy has to go get the ice cream. So we see him like driving off. He's got a big van and he stops at a stop sign and this girl runs up to the window and she's like pounding on the window and asking for help. He lets her in the van and we see some dude like chasing after her. So he drives off. By the way, this girl's character, Zoe Deschanel, was the person that was originally thought of to play this role.
Oh, I bet Joe wishes that stuck around.
I would have immediately not given this a green light if that was the case, yeah.
Well, no, I mean, she gets her.
Well, we'll find. Yeah.
Well, I guess there's that, yeah, but she's like, some guy stole my ukulele and who's he gonna kill me?
Jimmy now has his girl in his car and he's like speeding off. He's like, what's going on? She's like, oh my God, this is so crazy. Like, you just saved my life. He like pulls into his driveway. She's like, you're my hero and you're cute. He's like, really? Yeah, you saved my life and you're cute. He's like, wow, this is fantastic. And she like pulls him into the back of the van. And then, you know, there's a transition from night to day. And we see the van still there. And now the ice cream that he bought is tipped over and melting into the dash, which I can only imagine how much trouble that's going to cause. But so, you know, you could assume what happened there.
Was this weird for anybody else? Because, so going to this, I know nothing about the show, right? So I assume this kid is like 16, and I pegged this girl as way older, and I was like, that's kind of weird, right? And then when I like was doing my notes today, it was like a 23-year-old boy, and I'm like, that kid's 23 in this?
Yeah, no, I wasn't shocked by that. I mean, because it looked like, I mean, they were working and stuff like that was his.
Yeah, but when you find out working
We
for his
were
dad,
working
like,
at 14.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
worked for my dad when I was a kid too, like, you know, under the table or whatever, so.
In fairness, I didn't know if it was a school day or not, but so I guess it could have been a weekend job.
It's also a thing of getting older too, though. You're like, I don't know how old anybody is anymore. Like, you just lose all track of that ability.
This fucking van is sweet, too.
This is like the fucking A-Team van. It's amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
and perfect for sex.
But not perfect for ice cream storage.
No. So he wakes up alone after the paper boy throws a newspaper at the window of the van. He gets up. She's not there anymore. He heads into the house and he discovers his girl is now inside the house with his family and acclimated pretty quickly. They were just oh, cool. So she's there. She had told them everything that happened. The dad is she can even pronounce that nutty Iran guy's name. I don't know if we should get into
Yeah, this was the Iranian president at the time, but right now is the absolute worst time in modern history to have an Iranian discussion. So,
can anyone say his name without me having to say it?
I have to see it in front of me, but probably
I thought it's Mahmoud Ahmadinejad.
That's not what she says.
That's not what she says. I was saying that's what I.
This is quicker.
Yeah.
Obviously, you would remember hilariously the Lonely Island sketch about him. The one with the Maroon 5 guy. Yeah.
And I ran.
Yeah.
I ran so far away.
I don't remember that because why would I watch something as unfunny?
You know why? Because I know we sent it to you at one point, and now I just wonder if you just said you didn't like it without watching it just to not watch it.
I'm sure I didn't like it and then just erased it from my brain like everything else those guys have done.
Being a real Gordo right now.
No, if I was being a real Gordo right now, I'd be talking about the big business flush joke that's happening right now. But instead, I'd like to skip over that.
Well, it's coming, and we're talking about it, baby. Bring on the poop.
Proud Google boy over here does not want to talk about the poop.
Yeah, so this girl, she has to use the bathroom now. So she asks Virginia if she minds. She's like, no, last door on the left. And then tells her if she's doing big business, she's got to flush twice. And you can't run the sink for the second flush, or she's going to have to go give it a third flush. Well, why would you have the sink running for the first flush and then the sink's either on or off, right?
I think there's a thing where if you're at somebody else's house and
some people don't want you to hear
they'll turn the sink on or the shower on. So I'm guessing that's probably what it was because they assume she's a stranger in the house.
A news flash, it doesn't help. You still hear every fart.
You just make the room with hot, thick air in it too. I'm running the shower instead. You're guess what? That's not making anything better. Yeah.
So she goes to head to the bathroom, but not before leaning over and full on making out with Jimmy in front of his family. And even the dad and cousin are sitting there mouth open. I mean, this girl's objectively a very attractive girl. So they're probably a little shocked by this whole situation. Jimmy getting a lot of action in this kitchen, huh?
Yeah.
Every time he sits down, someone kisses him.
Somebody that's his special chair.
So she walks off and they're like, oh, we really like her, Jimmy. Virginia's like, she thought I was your sister. Bert, the father, is like, you could be your sister, sweet little thing, you. I told you getting pregnant at 15 would pay off eventually.
Eventually.
And I guess the two actors are in real life about 15 years apart. So it works out.
It's also funny too. I always put this stuff in perspective from our ages too, where it's so if they had a kid when they were 15, he's 23, they're still younger than us. That's becoming another weird thing. We were geez Louise. Yeah, having a 23-year-old child right now.
Oh, I mean, I know people who had kids pretty young who now have adult children.
It's wild. You're what's your kid doing? Graduating college? That's fucking crazy. What do you mean? Yeah.
And also now they're done with all the stuff and they're just they still have all this life to live.
I don't know. I'm always, it's different, right? As a Ferg, you and I have the opposite ends of the spectrum where I'm I don't know, is it easier to have all the years to do stuff early or all the years to do stuff later? I don't know what works out better. You have more money later.
When did Ferg stop doing stuff?
I'll never stop doing stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff is great.
But yeah, no, I think, I mean, honestly, there's going to be pros and cons either way, right? As he's talking about her, he's like, I've been trying to figure out what my life was supposed to be all about. And I think I found it. It's love. And I think I am actually in love. By the way, did anyone catch her name? And oh, her name's Lucy. And as soon as her name is mentioned, you hear the TV in the background and we cut over and we see a news report. And now we see Lucy's picture and name pop up on the news. And we find out that they're the police are searching for her and she's wanted for murdering multiple ex-boyfriends.
I do like the idea of using the TV as the character to tell us all of this stuff. Instead of it being another person or interaction. I love that it happens in the kitchen, right afterwards. They do such a good job of using this house as central location and not making you feel they're not getting out of it ever.
Also, at this point, at this point, there is a second flush, so she took a big dump.
Oh, do you hear a second flush?
I didn't catch that.
I didn't catch
You
that.
didn't?
No.
You hear the flush, and then you hear the second one. I'm like, oh, she was pooping.
Obviously, people who listen to us, like, we often joke about this and, like, the dividing lines when it comes to poop humor. But I think it's like you could, for real, tell the difference when the two of you were tracking the flushes and me and Joe completely filtered it out of our brains.
I'm off somewhere thinking about Cloris Leachman kissing me, and I've been thinking about noises.
So first we have an interview on the news now with an officer saying how tricky she's been to catch because she keeps changing her name. And then we get the guy who was chasing her when Jimmy found her being interviewed, saying that she was trying to choke him with a pair of shoelaces and was screaming because he forgot her birthday. And then, like, when he was chasing her, some guy picks her up in a van. He's like, good luck, dude. By the way, her birthday's May 12th. I'd buy a card now. And then the news report closes out with, like, any information, please contact so-and-so. And right as the news story switches past it and now it's off, she happens to walk back in the room. What I like is the follow-up story is, and in lighter news, a small-time crook with a long list of wrongs he was making amends for is finally finished. And you'll never guess how it ended.
Then smash in the head.
This is a good mom move, right? Like, just eliminate the threat.
Oh, did you not pick up on that reference, Joe?
Yeah, is it?
They're talking about Earl.
It's My
the
Name
same
is Earl.
universe.
Oh.
It also gets cut off just like the actual show before.
Oh, because there's no finale, yeah.
It sucks that they never finished that.
That's why they said, and you'll never guess how it ended.
That's very funny. I appreciate that, yeah.
They at least gave us the fact that he finished his, like, his list, right?
It actually made my day when I wrote, hey, Earl, did you finish this list?
That adds such a nice part of my brain being finished now. It's like, Earl finished the list? Oh, I'm so glad.
So, as Ferg mentioned earlier, Greg Garcia, who created My Name is Earl, also created this show. Because of it, and because of this actual scene, like, so it's not a spin-off. None of these characters existed in My Name is Earl. But it's one of those...
It's the Earliverse.
So it's kind of like how we always thought that King of Queens was a spin-off of Everybody Loves Raymond, but then we were corrected, and they just exist in the same universe. And then I think, like, retroactively, like, Doug ended up on Raymond after the show started.
Family Matters and Full House, also similar.
And Perfect Strangers.
Perfect Strangers, yeah.
So this is one of those cases where the same, like, it exists in the same universe.
And not to get ahead, but Jason Lee is on this show later. He's not Earl or anything, but...
Aw, why would they do that?
They should have made him Earl if they're going to exist in the same universe, but...
Give him something.
But I didn't watch it, but just doing my homework, just about, like, most of the My Name is Earl characters make cameos in the show.
Yeah.
And I will say, knowing that might be enough to make me continue watching the show, just wanting to see everybody pop up.
What I like about that, though, is, when I was going through, like, some of the actors, I didn't know what they did. A lot of them all end up in episodes 2 of his next show. I can't remember the name of it right now. It escapes me, but...
Oh, it was like a Freevee original or something like that, wasn't it? It was something weird.
Oh, no.
We'll cover it eventually, I'm sure. But I have, like, this huge thing where I love, like, directors and writers, everything who have, like, their crew. Where it's like, no, I bring these people into everything I do. Like, I like these people. I like working with them. Like, I love when anybody does that and you have, like, your own universe of people you always bring in, right? Like, if you think Christopher Guest movies, right? Like, you're going to see the same people pretty much, like, so many people scattered in and out. It's kind of nice to be like, there's not a lot of loyalty in Hollywood. You know what I mean? It's like, I love when people have that.
Yeah, and by the way, you're thinking of Sprung.
Sprung. Thank you. That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, so as we said, so she whacks this girl over the head with the TV as soon as she sits down because, well, obviously they're aware that there's a murder in the fucking house now. It instantly cuts to, like, 8 months later, and now we're inside of a prison, and you see Jimmy walking down the hall with the prison guard, and the guard's telling him, like, oh, your girlfriend's pretty clever. For her last meal, she asked for a McRib and a Shamrock Shake. That should buy her a few months. Those two are almost never available at the same limited time.
It's a genius move.
You know, I'll say, like, that line is just, like, such clever writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, though, the reality of that is I listen to a lot of true crime podcasts, too, and like Small Town Murder, they always talk about what the last meal is if it was requested. So often it's requested, and the request is denied. So,
Really?
Like, yeah. Like I was one else the other day, it was like they wanted KFC and they denied it because they were like, no, you could take the bones and use it as like a weapon. You could like sharpen them or whatever. It's like, this is this dude's like, look, this is a bad murderer. I don't give a shit about them, but like, it's the last meal. It's like our humanitarian thing to say that, like, we're better than the animals, right? Like, you can have one last thing. Like, get the dude some tendies. Like, why?
Can't they cuff him and feed him? Like,
right.
That's funny because I could have sworn I've seen things like that on. I mean, I've
on
only
TV.
read like you can see like there's always articles like all these serial killers, famous last meals and stuff like that, and I've always found it interesting.
Oh, sometimes they'll go all out. Yeah, they're like, and the places will do it. There are some states though that they don't do that. They're like, you get whatever we're making today in the prison, so you better hope that your last fucking day is on chicken parm day.
Fuck them. Like, I don't care if they don't get their last meal.
I 75% agree with you.
I'll be the Gordo. What would your last meals be?
Never-ending breadsticks from Olive Garden.
Nice. Genius.
So I think there's a couple trains of thought, not to overcomplicate it, because I don't know. Did any of you guys watch the? There's a YouTube like last meals show now.
No.
It's like a celebrity
No.
interview show where
I've seen it. I haven't seen it.
It's good. It's the kid who's like the chef from Mythical Kitchen and stuff, and he interviews celebrities and they do like a 5-course like last meal. So they pick all these different things.
That's too much food for a last meal, by the way. I'm going to say that right there. You'll be very...
Why? Are you gonna? Is your stomach gonna hurt? Like you're gonna get electrocuted a minute later?
I don't want my tummy to hurt when they're strapping me into a chair.
You know what's gonna hurt even more?
Well, to be fair.
Well, no, but under that idea, like I'd want like this big multi-course thing. I feel like my comfort is like if when that day came, if Hong Kong Dragon still exists, and it would have to be them specifically.
What do you mean if? They're gonna exist.
They're gonna outlive us all.
I would, because it wouldn't just be Chinese food from everywhere. If they're still around, like it would have to be fried rice and lobster sauce with like an egg roll and some chicken fingers or whatever. But then outwardly, if it was like a multi-course thing, like sushi, give me a ribeye, nice ice cold can of Moxie.
Yeah, I feel like you can't go multi-course. You gotta go with like one thing, right? Because then you could like, you just put your 5 favorite foods together. I think the last meal should be like, what is the one thing?
I think it would, well, if it was one thing, it would be that and like a can of
If you
Moxie.
get in the electric chair, it should be a whole bunch of rubber. Then you'll live. Joe, what would yours be?
Just you ordered 7 shoes? I don't know what that's supposed to do. Like, don't worry about it. I'm gonna be good. I mean, it's I wouldn't go parm. I know we talk about parm all the time, but I feel like if I was going for like the most comforting food ever the last time, it would be pepperoni pizza. Like that would be, I think pizza is like the ultimate comfort food.
I'd want like 20 Big Macs because it's every time I've ever eaten a Big Mac, I'm like, I could just keep eating these. The only thing stopping me is my self-control here.
Your self-respect.
It's a flavor that is not similar to anything else. Like it's its own thing, and I love it.
Yeah.
And if I could just like get away with it, like just let me just keep eating Big Macs, please. So this would be the perfect opportunity. I'm dying anyways. Who gives a shit? I'm gonna put down as many Big Macs as I can.
They would give you like the Homer Simpson never-ending donut machine when he's in hell. He's like, more, just pushing them in your mouth.
Bergs would also obviously be a perfectly toasted hot dog.
No, mine would be a combination of baby back ribs and chicken parm, not mixed together.
Turf and turf. It is weird though, because I feel like the one thing, like Nick, you were on the money there, and Jay, you were as well. I think Ferg and I fucked up a little bit because you want to specify the place that's making it.
Yeah.
Because if you're like, I want chicken parm, and they're like, okay, the prison chef will make you chicken parm. You're going to be so bummed out as that was the last parm you ever had. You're like, oh, man.
Prison chef, by the way, is Gordo.
He's going to be editing this, and there's going to be like an interjection where he's like, as a chef, what I say is it's going to be like a 20-minute long thing.
Get dino nuggies and ketchup.
And to tangent off the tangent, as far as this stuff goes, I definitely tried a McRib at some point in my life when I was a kid, definitely not as an adult. And this actually came up at work recently by coincidence. I've never in my life had a Shamrock Shake.
I haven't either. It's the season,
Me
right?
either.
Are they out still? We just had St. Patrick's Day.
It's still March, so I don't know. I'm not in McDonald's often these days.
Shakes are one of those things. I don't know. I mean, like I feel like as I've gotten older, I've been a little more conscious of like the things I eat, sans Big Macs. But like those shakes and like Frosties and stuff like that, I will have a Frosty every now and again, but I can't eat them because I'm just like, this is so bad. Like, I'm just not enjoying it while I'm eating it because it tastes great, but I know it's just terrible for me.
I understand that the combination of burgers and milkshakes go back nearly 100 years at this point, but I don't quite understand it.
I do wish I could go back though and like enjoy one of those milkshakes from like the late 40s, early 50s, because
the actual McDonald's, like Brothers McDonald's, I'm
like,
sure it was fucking amazing.
Because it wasn't as bad for you. Like it wasn't good for you, but it wasn't full of like preservatives and sugars and shit like that. Like,
do you think their ice cream machine actually worked back then?
yeah, just because it was a dude scooping ice cream though.
They get to her cell area and the guard slides over like the eye hole area of the door. She's like, "Hey, sweetie, miss me?" He's like, yeah, sure. Is this what you want to talk about?" And the guard goes to unlock the door. He's like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" "Oh, she gets an hour a day to exercise." She goes, "An hour? You should check with the warden. I get an hour and a half. An hour for me and a half hour for me and Jimmy's baby." And she turns around and exposes that she's pregnant.
I like that a baby gets half an extra hour.
I'll say this. I mean, obviously, there's a baby component to the episode. So, like, it's a little projected that she's, especially when it's like 8 months later.
It's not going to be Cloris Leachman. It's like snuck into his bed one night. She's like, just do it.
So there's like a very obvious, like, that this is going to turn out the way it turns out. But like, it was shot well and revealed. It sucks because there's no way to make this reveal not projected.
Yeah. And I knew the plot of the show that he has a baby. I had no idea the serial killer aspect of it, which was the surprise.
So now we have her outside, and even though like she like gets the exercise time, he's still in a separate caged, like she's caged off outside and he's like standing on the other side of the fence.
Yeah, this is like a classic thing in like, if you're in like death row or like the super high max wards, like you exercise by yourself and like basically in like a steel cage match from the 80s. Like it's just like,
yeah, like because we even saw like her cell wasn't the typical bars. It was like the sliding metal door with the eye hole and stuff.
Also, we grew up through the golden age of serial killers, right? Like there are still some around now.
That's one way to look at it.
I mean, I don't mean that in a way where I'm like, they're great. I just mean like, our lifetime was like Night Stalker, Unabomber, right? Like,
what a time to be alive.
Yeah.
It's a funny way to say it, but like I almost feel like we're a little on the young side. Like we missed
Bundy.
Yeah, all like the Midwest 70s ones.
Yeah, we missed like Bundy, but like BT, some of them went longer, like BTK went longer and like came back. But just like that was always in the news. Like we knew about serial killers all the time, right? And there's a lot that like happened and were caught like during our childhoods.
Like OJ.
No, I think he's more of a rage killer. Can only kill 2 people, right?
He's not a serial killer. He's a murderer.
And semantics. But I feel like it's a weird thing now too, where like even movies like Silence of the Lambs, like they feel less like you could do them now because like you don't hear about it all the time. Like when that guy killed all those girls in Long Island, you were like, what? Yeah,
like I remember, and this is probably a good decade ago. Like remember there was like was it a boy and his son or something? Like there was the 2 guys it was like the Washington DC area, and they were like shooting people through like a hole in the trunk of the car.
Yeah, the DC snipers. Yeah.
So that was like one of the last ones I remember where they were like, these guys are on the loose and like we're trying to track where they might be and stuff. But you don't hear about it. Now it's all these killings. Like we're complaining about how killings not the same as it used to be. But now it's like a lot of like big one-off events, right? It's like
we went from fucking serial killers got phased out into like school shootings became like the thing. Yeah. And if I'm going to be honest, I'd rather the serial killers, I think.
Well, you know why? It's because forensics took such a big leap. They're easier to catch them, so they're not getting this
so
huge
you're going to get all of it out at once.
I mean, that Brian Koberger murder that happened recently, right? Like the Iowa
fucking weirdo, yeah.
That fucking psycho dude, right? But they were like, he had to basically plead because they were like, we have touch DNA now. You were in that room and like we can just tell that your sweat was in the room. You're fucking done. He's like, okay, I'll plead. I'm done. Like didn't even go to court. Like everyone was like, this is gonna be the most crazy trial to watch ever. And they had so much evidence against that dude. He had to just be like, yeah, there's no point. There's no point in actually going to trial, right?
I wonder why half those things go to trial anyways and waste the fucking time and money.
And taxpayer money and everything. Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
It's like specifically the Boston bomber there. It's like, what like there's everybody knows you did it. You're on video doing it. You're running from the cops. You're in a car chase. They caught you. Like, why am I spending my taxpayer money on this trial right
here's
now?
a video of you throwing pipe bombs at people at 2 in the morning. Like, we know it's you. Like, what's the point of having this be like a long trial? Now it's just like go into some room forever. You're done.
Yeah, I'm all about like the legal system doing its thing, but there needs to be like a one tier that's like this very obviously happened in front of too many people to deny.
Well, that's the thing earlier we were talking about like the death row thing, right? Where Nick, you mentioned like fuck them, they shouldn't get a last meal. I feel I agree with you in any case like that. We were like, oh no, you're dead to rights, fuck you. But there are so many people that we've figured out through DNA now that we're like, oh, we killed that guy and they didn't do it. It makes me feel like the death penalty only should be in situations where it's like, well, we walked up while you were stabbing them, so like you have to be so concrete to like not kill an innocent person. That was a weird detour we all took there, guys.
Yeah. So she's saying like, hey, I don't expect anything from you. I just thought you should know that you're going to be a dad. And you know what the best part is? I'm supposed to get the electric chair in 7 months. That's way before they knew I was pregnant. There's no way they're going to kill a mother of a 6-month-old baby. And then the very next shot is Jimmy holding the baby, watching her get the electric chair.
Did anybody else go, oh my God?
I did not see this coming. This legitimately shocked me. I did
and then
not
when
see
he covers the baby's eyes, I laughed so fucking hard. Also, like, man, that is cruelty. When you're 1 month out of being pregnant, you're still wearing like ice underwear because your insides are ripped out. They're like, yeah, we'll just electrocute her now.
So the thing that's like because so obviously I didn't see this coming. So when I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, this is an interesting premise. Like this kid has a one night stand with a serial killer, and then that's going to be the mother of the child, and he's going to have to visit the prison, and eventually she'll get out of jail.
Right. You assume that like the prison is going to be part of the show.
It's going to be part of the story that he has the mother of the child is like a lunatic serial killer. Yeah.
Then she becomes Horace Pinker, and she can touch people and enter their bodies.
She runs through the TV shows.
Because of this, the next scene, you just have the baby laying down on the ground at Jimmy's house with like the whole family standing around her. Like, what's its name? She named it Princess Beyonce, but I think I might change that.
I gotta say, if the show was called Raising Princess Beyonce, I would probably never have watched it.
You didn't watch it anyways, because you thought it was a hospital show.
Well, I certainly wouldn't have thought it was a hospital show. It was called Raising Princess Beyonce. I would have thought it was like some bullshit fucking reality show, and I wouldn't have watched it either way.
You would if I picked it, damn it.
Like, Ferg, why are you picking reality shows with stars from the Austin Powers franchise?
So now his mom's kind of like, good Lord. Well, you can safe drop it at the fire station, but make sure that you hand it to someone. You can't just throw it in a bin out front. Like, that's for canned goods and puppies. Like, I'm not going to take it to the fire station.
Also, that's a tough day as a firefighter. You're like fucking 2 a.m. You're like on the shift of listening to like the radios in case anything happens. Someone knocks on the door. It's like, here's a baby. Bye. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm glad that exists. It's huge to be able to like have places to safely do that. But that definitely ruins your workday, right? We're like, oh shit, someone just gave me a baby.
His cousin's like, yeah, there's no time for that. We have a rave tonight. He's like, I can't go to a rave. It's like, you have to go. You're my ride. If I take my bike, my pants will get all wrinkled. He's like, listen, like, I'm keeping this baby. You know, I'd appreciate a little support. So Virginia's like, you can't keep it, Jimmy. A baby will dramatically change your life. What are you going to feed it? Do you even have clothes for it? I bet you don't even know where to get a reasonably priced portrait. And you see like the quick shot of this weird family photo that they got at like a Sears or something. First off, I do want to mention, I did read that like, I think in almost every episode, she says a word wrong. So
yeah,
dramatically is the one here.
That's this one here. You can still get portraits like this, by the way. There are local photographers everywhere. I had to get a work headshot done a couple years ago. Not the one recently that you guys took and AI'd me into the new girl and a bunch of other things.
So I want to, sorry, tangent of a tangent. For those of you listening, Joe made a very, very big mistake.
Poor
and
choice.
sent us high definition photos of himself that he got done for work that are very, very easy to manipulate.
And literally, my reason for this was they sent me 2, right? Because they take like 20 pictures or whatever, and then like they upload the ones that they think are the best, and then send them to the drive. My company's like, here are the pictures, go find them. Which I also think is a bad move too. Like, I know it would be work for somebody to like separate those out, but like, you could just then take these high resolution photos of everybody, which I didn't think of until you guys did that. But I sent you the 2 they sent to be like, does either one of these look better than the other? I think I look kind of crazy in this one. And then I like went to go get a snack or something. And by the time I had come back, there was like me in Jurassic Park. It's like all over the place.
And if our fans would like to see these pictures, give us 100 likes on Instagram.
Yeah, we could easily make a slideshow.
Nobody wants to see these pictures. I don't want those. Share it out. Thank you.
When we were kids, back in the day, you went to like the department store photo area and you would take your fancy family photos there, the Searses of the worlds. Did you guys ever do these with your families growing up?
For sure. I remember when my sister was born, we did one of like my brother, my sister, and I. That was like that sort of thing where everyone's kind of like looking over with like the matching things. And that was at like a Sears or one of those places for sure, like a department store, maybe in fucking Caldor for all I remember. But I remember doing it and that would have been like 1991 or something.
We got them done once all the grandkids were born. We got it done for my mother.
There was a time, it was about like 20 years ago, where like my mom would always mention how she didn't have like a nice photo of me and my brother. So for whatever holiday it was at the time, I forget, I paid to have like a couple photos of the two of us together in like shirts and ties. My brother had, if I remember correctly, like had to borrow a tie from Nick.
Yep.
He doesn't have a tie?
He was like, I don't have a tie, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to wear it. It's like, it's not for you, dickhead. We're just taking a photo for mom.
Well, in all fairness, he didn't have a neck either.
But we're also living in like the golden age of like, do you need a tie? You can go to fucking Target. You know what I mean? Like, and just get a fucking tie. It's not like it's a hard thing to do. Does anybody have any preference to ties? I always like really skinny ties. I don't like big, thick ties.
Yeah, my preference is to not fucking wear them.
Same
I
here.
hate ties.
Yeah.
There is
But
no
for work
tie.
events and weddings, that's
We've had tie talk in the past, but I think a couple times.
Jack talk tie.
Yeah, I like to wear a tie, and because of the size of my body, I cannot wear a skinny tie. It would not look good on me at all, so I wear a standard. I don't want like one of those like original Undertaker ties either that are like, you know, like they're like fucking a foot wide, but no, but I like to wear like a regular tie.
Yeah, I feel like your chest size, I think, determines the size of
Sure.
a tie you need to wear for sure. I had to go on a work trip. It got canceled, luckily, because I was going to Washington, D.C. for work, and Washington, D.C., because the earth hates us, was getting tornadoes, so my flight got canceled that morning. But the only tie I could find of mine was like a really skinny polka dot one that I was like, this will be fine. My wife was like, you can't wear that tie to a business meeting. I was like, why? It's polka dots.
For those of you listening, he's shaking his head.
Joe, you should thank your lucky stars that your wife exists, because I don't know, man, you'd leave the house looking like a fucking weirdo a lot, I think, if she wasn't like, no.
Yeah, I am very grateful for the checks and balances in my life. Yeah.
Joe just shows up to this meeting dressed like Little Richard.
With a tote bag.
Like, I don't know who Jesse is, but he keeps telling us, shut up, Jesse? It's like, I don't know, man. Woo! You mean tote bags? Like my brand new record label tote bags that you could purchase if you'd like? You can cut that out. It's being funny for us.
Was that Zoe Deschanel on it?
Yeah, you can plug it.
Yeah, you can play.
I should do the next one. It's Zoe Deschanel and Ace Frehley makeup. Just like, what? I don't know.
I could see you making one of those Zoe Deschanel with like X's over her eyes tote bag.
Or like the Misfits bullet thing with JFK. It's Zoe Deschanel, and there's just like blood splatter coming out of her
Yeah.
brains. I end up getting fucking sued by her.
Jimmy's saying, you know, I'm going to figure all this stuff out. Like, I just got her an hour ago. She's like, how'd you even get her home? You don't have a special seat. I put her in a beanbag in the back of the van and drove real slow.
I laughed so fucking hard at this. When we had our daughter, I had literally been driving for 2 weeks. I know it's a stupid thing because I'm a child. Again, Nick, to your point of having a wife who makes my life way better. I was like, I'm 38 and I've never driven before. So I got my permit a month before that. Driving home a human being as like your third time ever driving is a terrifying experience. And I was very glad she wasn't in a beanbag. But I definitely drove like 8 miles an hour the whole way home, which I feel like he must have done with her in a beanbag as well.
You know what's funny? I've been driving since I was 16. And then I remember years ago, like I had to take my niece to daycare. It was like the first time I ever had a driver, and like they had to put the car seat in my car and stuff. And I was petrified driving her. Like the first, and I'd been driving forever. And I was like, and I'm like crawling because I'm like, I can't do anything too quick.
Nah, kids love when you drive fast.
Yeah, when you hit the gas, they love it. But I'm a pretty aggressive driver. Like, you kind of have to be around here.
Oh, for sure.
It sucks. But, like, if once I started driving with the kid in the car, my girlfriend was like, you can't do that. Like, you can't speed through a yellow light and make a hard left turn with a 4-year-old in the back of the car. I'm like, all right. I mean, like, yeah, like, I get it.
Wow.
I just wasn't thinking of it. Yeah. Yeah.
What's crazier to me for that
You can't
too is
endanger
like
the kids.
with like a 4-year-old or older too, like they just inherently get in the car and assume that you're like Dale Earnhardt. They think you're the world's greatest driver because you're an adult and you're driving.
Yeah, right.
So if like you ever have like something like that, or like your niece or nephew get in the car, they just like don't think twice about it. But you're driving, they're sweating bullets, being like, oh my god, there's a fucking baby in this car.
I don't know. History will tell you that Dale Earnhardt is not the greatest driver.
I maybe should have picked a different NASCAR driver, but I know like 2 of them. One of
You
them
could have just thrown a junior in there.
Oh, that's what I should have done. Yeah. I can't see from here. I've got like the NWO race car that Gordo gave me. I'm like, what
Yeah,
driver
mine's
was
right
that?
behind me, actually.
He's probably alive, right? Yeah.
So Mike is telling Jimmy, like, hey man, like, can we take her to that rave? And like, he's like, we could just make her look like older. And he like holds like the mustache tattoo over her lip. It's like, we'll give her a giant lollipop and tell everyone she's a munchkin.
This dude wants to go to a rave way too badly.
Way too bad.
How do you guys feel about Mike, by the way?
He's kind of expendable.
Well, he's not on the show much after this, but I hate Mike.
We watched like an hour and a half or a few hours of this afterwards because it is very much I just like leave on and like kind of background TV show. And halfway through, my wife was like, "Where'd the cousin go?" And I was like, "Oh, I think they smartly got rid of him after the first episode."
Yeah, he's just kind of useless.
He did remind me of a young Alex Winter, though.
I know originally the cousin role was not even supposed to be a male. He had a female cousin.
Yeah.
And that got switched. And then that girl, she was shifted over and plays like Sabrina, who we'll meet later's cousin. But she was originally supposed to be Jimmy's cousin in the show.
Yeah, it's the girl from Garfunkel and Oates.
Yeah, Kate Matucci. She's super funny.
She was in Scrubs too, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was the ukulele player.
Not in this episode, but she'll show up.
Her thing now too is she has like really very specific kind of art. And she like moved to New York and like half her whole Instagram is just her being like, I'm walking like almost like Keith Haring used to do. Where, like walks around just like paints on stuff all day. Which is like kind of a cool thing. Yeah, like fridges and weird stuff.
She also beat lung cancer.
Yeah, she beat cancer and she never smoked. Which makes me terrified is like we're all ex-smokers where it's like somebody who
I know, yeah.
didn't smoke is like, I beat lung cancer. I'm like, we're not gonna beat it if we get it. That's gonna be a problem.
Well, yeah, again, not in this episode, but if you keep watching, you'll catch her. But he's not going to go to this rave. I did like when the cousin was like, come on, she just got out of jail. Let her have some fun. But he's like, hey, listen, I'm going to run out. I'm going to get one of those special seats for her. I'm going to get a bunch of baby things. And it's like, but what money? He's like, I'm going to trade my stuff for it. The pawn shop's full of baby junk. And my old crib's in the garage. He's like, just keep an eye on her until I get back. And it's like, no, you're not leaving the baby here. Like, I have to. Like, I'm not driving with her again until I get a special seat. Even driving slow, the beanbag slid around during a lot of the turns.
Do you guys notice the baby's in a little prison jumpsuit, by the way?
Yes.
I did notice that. Yeah, he's got his numbers.
The numbers are the same as Nelson Mandela's, by the way.
That is insane. Like, I understand being like, obviously pro Nelson Mandela, anti-apartheid, but like, what a weird show to make that political statement in.
His mom's like, we're not helping you, Jimmy. That's the only way you're going to realize what a stupid idea this is and to drop it off at the fire station. I know every family is different, right? And then this family is definitely portrayed to be like flawed. And, you know, it was strange to see a grandmother have zero connection to this baby and not like want it at all. You know what I mean? Like, so I was like, I found that it was like, and I know, listen, I know like, you know, a lot of us have been very lucky, you know, like, and we have good family dynamics as far as some of that stuff. Not that all of our families aren't without flaws, but, you know, whatever. But, like, to see that was, like, such a hard thing for me to process because it's so foreign to me.
That there'd be anybody in the family who just didn't care about the baby, yeah.
I get what you're saying, but it's just, she went through that with Jimmy. She
Sure.
got pregnant at 15. She doesn't want him to go through what they went through.
But I think what happens with a lot of families, though, is like, well, this wasn't my plan for you, but now we're in this, you know?
Right, like you love the baby.
Sure. And I understand, like, obviously the show evolves, right? And things change. But, like, to see this throughout the episode where she's like, will you drop this off? Like, get rid of this kid? It was like, It was weird because usually it's like, oh, then you meet the kid and you have this connection to it and things change. But, and again, I know every family dynamic's different. But for me, it was like I had a disconnect because my life and family is not like that.
That's like babies are almost like dogs, right? Where like you see a baby, you're like, oh, buddy, right? Like most people, even like strangers' babies, are like, oh, look, it's the baby. Like, oh, hey, what's up? So it seems crazy to me to think that somebody who was the grandmother would have no connection.
Right, exactly. And now we see Jimmy walking to the pawn shop and he's got some stuff like at the bottom of a shopping cart, which he's also doubling as using as the baby stroller. And he walks by a supermarket while he's walking to the pawn shop. And this is where one of the girls who works there, her name's Sabrina, like comes out and yells at him. It's like, hey, isn't that one of our carts? And he's explaining like, no, this is a family cart. It's been in my backyard since I was 3. And she's like, okay, yeah, right. He's like, oh, no, I'm not lying. Like, when it's nice out, we put it over a fire and use it as a grill. And they look, and you can see, like, cheese stuck to, like, the side of the grates. Like, and this was another time where I was like, this is so clever to just think of that I'm like, this writer either did it or saw it somewhere. Like, that can't just pop into your brain out of nowhere, right?
Yeah, it's so specific that it has to be a thing, yeah. But, like, they're not powder coated, right? Is it just...
Some of them have like a rubber coating to them.
I don't think they would be safe to cook on.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to eat something cooked off of it. But then again, like our whole lives too, we watch movies where it's like somebody opens like fucking The Bandit. Like Burt Reynolds opens up his car and like cooks an egg on the engine block. And you're like, I don't know if that egg would taste good, but I don't know. He's a man, so I'm going to do it too.
I mean, Cousin Eddie grills on rocks.
That's true, but only in Vegas. And those are radioactive rocks. So
like,
it's a little separate.
Remember when we were Cub Scouts and they would teach us to make like those little... You'd like flip a can upside down,
yeah,
and you would like make like you fry an egg on the can like that. It like makes me think of that, which we did when we were like kids.
I lit my San Jose Sharks jacket on fire doing that. Ruined it.
We were at my parents' house last weekend. My mom was like going through old photos from her kids, and I saw my like New Orleans Saints starter jacket. It was like having such a laugh of like, we all had jackets of teams from places we didn't live in. There was like such a weird fashion thing. It was like, oh yeah, you just have like a fucking, a San Jose. Everyone had the Charlotte Hornets one. That was a big one.
Yeah.
I have like a vivid memory of you having a Florida Panthers jacket.
We've talked about this because it was a Mandela effect thing, because pre-internet, I thought my favorite Bruin had been drafted to go play for the Panthers, and I just never saw him every time he played a game against the Bruins, and then we looked it up on Wikipedia, and it was like, he never once played for the fucking Panthers. Like, I don't know, somebody told me that in 1994, and like, how was I gonna cross-check that? And then because of that, too, because people knew I liked the Panthers, I ended up one Christmas with a lot of, was it North Carolina Panthers?
The Carolina
team, maybe?
Panthers,
Carolina Panthers, yeah. I ended up a bunch of like neon teal, like Carolina Panthers stuff, and was like, all right, I guess I'm wearing this hat now.
It just means they had all those jackets at like Bradley's on sale, and our parents all just went.
Yep. They're like, ultra clearance because they're random states that you don't live in.
Those kind of came back for a minute. They're not, I don't think it like really stuck the way they thought it was. They thought there was going to be a big resurgence on them.
That's where Ollie's is kind of making its way across the whole U.S. And that's one of those places too where you go there where it's like, I hope you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, because for some reason we got like a discount lot of 10,000 Pittsburgh Steelers blow-up chairs. And you're like, this is whatever team randomly, was on clearance they get the stuff for.
As they continue to talk, she notices the baby in the cart. And she's like, why is there a baby in there? Oh, I don't have a regular baby pusher thing yet, so we're heading to the pawn shop right now. She's like, sir, whose baby is that? No, it's mine. Her name's Princess Beyonce, and I'm thinking of changing it. And then he's like, see, I don't have a bottle yet. And like, you just see her drinking from like a latex glove.
This again also feels so specific that it must have been a reference to something that really happened.
Hopefully it's one of the ones that don't have powder in them.
I appreciate his ingenuity
Smart,
and like dedication to it. You know what I mean? Like he realized that he understood that babies eat a certain way. He didn't have that way. So he improvised, and I appreciate that.
He made an udder.
Yeah.
Adding a shopping cart was one of those. I was like, oh, that works just wonderfully.
I mean, I think the key to the situation with walking a baby is as long as they don't jostle and hit their head and they can see you, you're good, right? So as long as you make the shopping cart comfy.
It's weird, though, because he's depicted as dumb as rocks throughout this whole episode, but he has this ingenuity at times and it comes out of nowhere.
And he genuinely cares for the baby. He's not like freaking out and trying to get rid of it, which I feel like a lot of sitcoms would have led to, where like that would have been the reverse. The mom would have been like, you have to keep the baby.
So right at this point in the conversation is when Sabrina's boss comes out and he's like, Sabrina, what the dog do? Breaks over. I need you. Somebody took all the soup cans on the shelf and turned them upside down again. This guy's Greg Binkley, and he's one of the first off, he's in a bunch of stuff if you look him up.
Chud 2, by the way. New England's own Chud 2.
Obviously I was going to mention Chud 2 first.
Still Chud.
Hey, Ferg was right there with me on that one.
He was in an episode of My Name is Earl, so I think he's like the first person to cross over. But he doesn't play the same character either. If I'm remembering correctly, I did not look this up, because I was like, he's definitely familiar. When I saw he was in My Name is Earl, I'm pretty sure he was the guy who was it in the pilot?
The gay one?
The gay guy. Was that the pilot?
That's in the pilot, yeah, when they ran out of the house.
So he was the gay guy that like he had to like make amends with or whatever.
I don't remember enough.
Go back and listen to our My Name is Earl episode, but I'm almost positive that was the person he played.
He's another great reoccurring character on this. They spend a lot of time at that supermarket.
Does he eventually work there?
Eventually.
Yeah, because I watched like most of the first season, and they're in there a lot. Yeah. This is one of those thankless things too as an adult you come back to, where like being a retail or supermarket or whatever manager, half of your job is just trying to wrangle young people who are shitheads. And like that's so thankless. And like when you're a kid, you're like,
I was a young shithead who worked in a supermarket.
You Staples manager, I'm not gonna go do that. You're like, that's just some fucking 4-year-old guy who goes home and yells at his wife about how shitty these 17-year-olds he's somehow forced to manage are.
Something I've become more cognizant of, even of like where I work, where like you have to be at least 18 to work. But even like as we've become old, I look at 18-year-old kids the same way I look at a 14-year-old kid now at this point. And what I say about my job sometimes, or some of the people that work where I work, and think more so if you look at supermarkets. If you're a manager at a supermarket and you have that many children, legit children who work there, who are like, 14, 15, it's so hard to reprimand someone who literally does not give a fuck. It's like you can like yell at them all you want, but they don't fucking care. So like there's no incentive for them to change or be better because they don't fucking care.
Yeah, like their rent isn't riding on this job or whatever,
Fire me. I'll go make minimum wage at another shitty job. It doesn't matter.
Sometimes too, like this happened to me, we may have talked about this, but it like broke me. I was laughing so hard. Last summer I needed like a new propane tank. So I went to like the grocery store and you go to the customer service desk.
You need any propane accessories or just the propane?
Just the tank, luckily, that day. But I was just like, you're like, hey, can you just, there's a cage outside. You go like, can I do an exchange? You pay for it. And they sent out a kid. He must have been 14, had like just got his working papers. He maybe weighed 85 pounds. And this kid trying to take I don't know what they weigh, 30 pounds, 20 pounds. They're heavy, like a full tank. I had to actually be like, it's okay, man, I got it. And like the thank you he gave me for not having to do it himself, I was like, you would have dropped this and killed us all. Like, who allowed, like what terrible manager was like, go send the puniest, tiniest little 14-year-old we have. Let me go play around with the gas for a bit, right? To be like, I actually felt like an adult where I was like, it's okay, buddy, I got this. You can go back inside.
Did you go home and flex in the mirror like, oh yeah?
No, I just felt sad. I didn't feel manly about it. I was like, I should have stolen too. He couldn't have stopped me. Running away.
When the boss goes back inside, they continue to talk for a little bit. And he's like, why would someone put all the cans upside down? Like, oh, it was me. Why? I don't know. I work at a grocery store. I get bored. And then the boss yells again, comes back out like, Sabrina, come on. She's like torn. She doesn't want to like leave this situation because she's still not sure if he stole the baby or not. Like, I need you to promise me it's your baby. Okay, I promise.
It's an awful lot of trust in someone you don't know. You promise it's your baby now. Also, his baby is half serial killer, so you shouldn't trust anything in this scenario.
That is true. Like, there's got to be something there.
Oh man, nature versus nurture.
This is Charlotte Manson.
Which is an undecided debate, by the way, Ferg. So.
Yeah, no one's actually made a full decision on which one is actually...
Well, I'm on the side of nurture.
Like when people get like organ transplants, like suddenly I like popsicles, and then it's like, oh, Steve loved popsicles, and now you have his kidney.
That's all up here.
Well, if we get retina transplants, and you're like, oh, now I'm attracted to other people. So it doesn't work that way. It's just part of the thing.
We cut back to the house, and Virginia is chasing after Mama, who is in the middle of like having this fit. And she's like, just calm down, Mama. It's not as bad as you think. And Bert's like just sitting outside at the time, and he's like asking what's going on. And Virginia's like, she's lucid. It's been almost 5 minutes. So what's bad is when Mama has moments of clarity where she snaps out of her haze and like understands reality. That's when things are bad.
I mean, to be fair, if you're going, like, I understand part of, like, if dementia didn't also kill you, it's kind of nature's way, your body's way of being like protection, right? We're like, look, you don't know the weight of the world and that there's an end in sight, right? Like you're just.
I've thought about this in a way that's more serious than I think our show ever needs to be, but there is something nice about like, like my brain just literally doesn't understand that all these bad things are about to happen.
Yeah, it's amazing. Your brain doesn't think you're going to be dead soon.
It just sucks for everybody else. Yeah, it just makes everyone else around you's life awful. But anyways, yeah, that's.
You guys want to talk about anything else uplifting?
Yeah, we joke about jizz, so listen to us.
Yeah, no, we talk about cum a lot, so like occasionally we have to have our armaments.
We also talk about farts for all you normal people out there.
Yeah,
I don't want to talk about cum.
Farts
like
are funny.
Weirdos.
I don't want to go that far.
So, anyways, Mama, like in her moment of lucidity, is going, wait a minute. So you want me to believe that I just let all of you live in my house for free?
And this is a fun thing too, you learn, right? Because like they both have jobs, right? They're both working people. It's not like you expect them to be freeloading or whatever, but you understand at that point too, you're like, okay, like it's easier, obviously. They've had no rent scenario.
The cousin Mike comes out and she's like, who the hell are you? Oh, I'm Mike. I'm Jimmy's cousin. You and I are related by divorce or something.
I laughed really hard at that, trying to explain to her. He's like, we're sort of tangentially related.
And he's in his underwear, which are tidy whities.
Yeah.
And then she's like, not anymore, you don't. You guys pack up all your gypsy circus and find another teat to suck on. While that conversation's happening, Virginia was on the phone with Jimmy, and she's like, you're kidding me. The shopping cart got stolen when he was at the pawn shop. Bart's like, oh man, I was going to grill burgers this weekend. This baby's messing up everything.
Did anybody else feel like genuinely relatable to that comment? Where like, especially the nice weather, like as it gets weather starting to get warmer.
Oh, I was going to grill burgers.
It's like, fuck, I wanted to grill. Like, it's 60 degrees out. We could maybe grill tonight. Then it starts pouring rain. And you're like, fuck, I was going to grill burgers tonight.
What I wonder is, when the car got stolen, was all his shit still in it?
Imagine if the baby was still in it.
I don't think so, because I think that because he got the car seat, he must have.
Yeah, but that's all he got. He had a lot of stuff, and he was supposed to be getting a car seat and a carriage and other baby things.
Yeah, was there like a guitar in there, I think, sticking out? Yeah.
So, like, leads me to believe he took something in and the baby went out and all the stuff was stolen. And all he could get was the old car seat.
Also, terrible pawn shop guy because, I mean, like, it's the joke, obviously, but, like, it's one of those things I think about all the time where it's like, now kids face backwards and there's no tray or whatever. You think of, like, when we were kids where it's like, when you were fucking 2, they were just like, here's a lap belt and a cigarette. Just we're going to drive around in a Buick LeSabre all day on a highway going 100. Well, everyone in the car is smoking. You'll be fine. And now they're just like, that's so fucking terrifying to think of.
And we all came out just fine, all right? We have a podcast.
I like how that's the biggest indictment of all. Like, what happens? Like, you might grow up to be a podcaster.
Ooh. The burger thing, I think the best way I could compare that is, you ever like get all your shit out and you like bring it down to the grill and you realize your tank is empty? And you're
the worst.
I've never done that because what you do as a responsible adult is you always have a full backup tank with you. And the second your first tank kicks, you put the new one in, and then the next day you go to the grocery store and you swap them.
I do that. I do that.
Thank you, Nick. That is how you do it. Because you never want to be in a situation where you're like, I guess we're grilling this half-cooked chicken in the oven now for 9 hours. Yeah.
Oh, no, the soup's going to be cold now.
Fuck you. Never should have engaged in grill talk. Again, the grill has a burner. I'm not grilling soup on the grate. And I was talking about in dire winter, no power scenarios. Again, I feel like I'm not wrong here.
We need a Joe barbecue soup shirt.
Who was the football player who did the chunky soup commercials with his mom when we were kids?
Donovan McNabb used to do a lot of them.
McNabb, yeah. Did you eat your chunky soup? That one. It seems to be that. But me and Donovan McNabb's mom. Or Larry Johnson as Grandmama. That's actually better for me.
So now Virginia needs to go pick him up. It's like, I can't leave now. Like, we've got a situation. Your great grandmother is having a. And then she goes, is that Wilfred? Tell him to stop by the butcher shop on the way home because the Greensteins are coming over for dinner tonight. And all I've got in the icebox are pork chops.
What's wrong with pork chops?
Maybe she needs no, she wants them to go to the butcher. She said it so sweet, too.
Yeah.
Cloris Leachman really is funny in this.
She's great.
So she's like, oh, never mind. We're good.
That's one of those weird technologies too, where like there's always the kitsch of people who are like, we like to go old school and do old things, but like no one's ever been like, we don't have a fridge in our house. We actually have a 1950s icebox. We go to the store every day. We buy 5 pounds of ice. We pour it in the top. Like one of those. I love technology where like nobody feels like, well, the Iceman used to come. Everyone's like, what a fucking nightmare that was. Thank you for refrigerators.
Oh, I just figured that's what they called refrigerators back then.
No, well, they didn't have the technology.
Icebox.
No, they literally put a chunk of ice.
I know, like, way back when they delivered the ice, but, like, whenever shows from, like I Love Lucy generation, they say icebox, I always assumed that it was just an old fridge.
The refrigerator was new when they were talking about it.
Yeah.
Before Doc Brown invented the ice cube.
Takes so long to make one cube.
It was brown.
It was gross, yeah. The guy who plays the bartender who gives him the crazy drink that wakes him up from his hangover died, I think, a couple days ago, actually.
I did see that.
We didn't do that one.
Yeah, that one already
That was
happened.
not us.
Yeah, we didn't mention him. Wait, Cloris Leachman's already dead.
He wasn't in Buddies, was he?
No, Cloris Leachman was already dead.
She died a few years ago. But
Well,
we did
thank
talk about her.
God.
Well, I don't know. I want to say thank God, but
Did she die after we did Thanks?
we'd have to look it up. Hopefully she didn't die right after we did Thanks. I don't know.
Let's not deep dive how many people we may have killed.
Someone just mentioned earlier, too, that we talked about Chuck Norris and Sidekicks. Chuck Norris, muerto, immediately after.
R.I.P. Chuck Norris.
Joe Piscopo, though, still kicking.
Well, there you go. Not anymore.
If Joe Piscopo dies, I'll be very sad.
So here we cut to Virginia driving Jimmy and the baby home. And she's like, I knew I was going to get like stuck doing stuff like this. Like, I don't have time for a baby, Jimmy. Like, it's one time. Like, I'm not going to bother you again. Now I have a car seat, so it's safe to put her in my van. And she's like, well, how are you going to put it in your van? You don't have a back seat. What are you going to strap it into? Like, what do you mean strap it in? And then she takes like a sharp turn. And you just see like the baby and the whole seat just barrel roll across the back seat.
I love a show that has the courage to throw a baby across a car.
I love the mean, like, I'll fucking show you look of the mom when she does it, too. Like, she's putting her granddaughter in danger to prove a point.
He's like, I can't believe you didn't strap it in. It's like, I just thought you had to strap the baby in the seat, not the seat to the car. I don't know how this stuff works. You don't know how gravity works?
Modern car seats, by the way, are so easy because new cars now have, like, special hooks they put in them now. It's not like you used to, like, run the strap through, like, 14 different times. Like our car is, like, a 2-year-old car. I think Nick, you have the exact same cars we have. Like, for a car seat now, they literally have special hooks you just pull out that are, like, just for that to hold a car seat in. It takes, like, 2 seconds to change the car seat in and out. So if you like, go to somebody else's car, it's so easy.
They clip right to those U-bar things that are in the back. I don't know what they're called, but they clip to those.
When my daughter turned 2, thank you guys also, all of you, for coming to her party a few weeks ago.
I got her card today.
Oh, awesome. But we get to flip her seat over the other way for the first time ever. And I was like, the silliest thing. It was like, I haven't heard a word you've said in 2 years because you're driving down the highway and the car seat's the other way. And you're just like, what Lori Berkner song do you want? You're just like, I don't know. It's like, I was like, oh shit, you have a conversation with me now. I can see your face. It's a weird thing. Again, back to the car seat stuff with when we were kids, right? Where it's like, you don't fucking even, your parents didn't pay attention at all to you. But like, we're just like, what?
I find it weird now that like you talk about like the car seats have changed, but also like all the rules and stipulations. Like, so now you mentioned like, you know, now you have they face the back for a while, but the age that they want them in like a booster seat is like so different than when we were kids.
I think it's still like 8 or something crazy. Yeah, something like we never did.
Way too long.
Yeah, we were jumping around the back seat.
Yeah, we all got into every single one of our respective parents' cars as kids, just in a back seat and like bounced around going to places all the fucking time. And now they're like, that's bad. There's a Patton Oswalt quote that's something like, your parents did a great job with terrible information. And I think that's like the perfect way to describe like having kids. Like they did the best they could with just terrible information. And like when our kids have kids or whatever, everything we did will be wrong too.
Oh, that piece of shit Patton Oswalt.
How dare you?
The two are arguing, and Jimmy's telling his mom, like, don't act so smart. Like, the only reason you knew all this stuff is because you already had a baby. She's like, that's not true. We didn't have those kind of safety things when you were a baby. What are you talking about? They had car seats 20 years ago. I didn't say they didn't have them. I said we didn't have them.
That's a great little bit of writing right there.
And we get that flashback from 20 years ago. And we see like a young Virginia and Bert driving with Jimmy in the back seat, but he's like toddler. He's not like he's like about a toddler, and he's just kind of jumping around in the back seat. And this is where we get the Dead Milkman punk rock girl playing in the back, which flagged my ear. I was like, oh, that's crazy. Like, I didn't expect to hear it like in a show like this.
Yeah, I was surprised and happy to hear it. It's a weird song too. Like, you hear it, you know it immediately.
You know what's weird is it's one of those things where, well, I guess when you factor the fact that he had a Social Distortion shirt on earlier, like, it checks out. But when I see the couple and like the aesthetic of like everything, like, I think of them like more like country, like, in a way. Like, so I'm not thinking that they'd be listening to like the Dead Milkmen, you know, like.
I don't want to like reveal too much, but he's like a really good guitarist. And
we see him play in the episode. You know, we'll talk about
he's
later.
Playing guitar, yeah.
So they're driving, and he's like, Virginia squirrel, and she like swerves, and you just like, you see Jimmy like fall over, like, Jimmy, be careful, don't fall in the hole. And in the back seat, there's just a giant rotted out hole that like you can see like straight to the ground.
And like, I hate CGI usually, but this is a good use of CGI.
Yeah, because we're getting the perspective shot of like from under the car, and you just see the head poke out of the hole, like Jimmy's head, and it's like all of inches away from like the pavement as the car's actively driving. And like, even though you know it's fake, you're like, oh my God.
It's like the scene in Speed when Keanu Reeves discovers there's a bomb under the bus and he like pulls the thing out and it's like puts his head under. Or conversely, it's almost like a reverse of when Darkman puts Sam Raimi's brother's head up through the manhole while all the cars are driving around.
I like the transition from that to modern day again, where they go through the hole, like the camera effect. I thought was really good, actually.
Oh yeah.
If you noticed, there was like the transition to like show modern Jimmy looking down the hole, kind of realizing what his youth was.
This whole scene made me feel very much like I got the My Name is Earl thing. Like, this felt like a My Name is Earl flashback to me.
You know what I liked about this flashback too? I like that they just have a different young Virginia and Bert.
Yeah.
Instead of like trying to age them down to look like teenagers. Like, sometimes it's funny, but like in this case, like, I just do it this way.
I'm almost always pro different actor. Like, unless you've got somebody like Christopher Walken, where like it's always going to make you laugh to see them with like a mullet wig on or something, right? Where it's like, this is me when I was 30 in 1985. It just, it's a weird thing. So like, just go different actor, find somebody who looks similar to them. I like too when they do this and they just overdub the voice. I think it's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Like, that way you kind of mix both worlds.
And now they're having another conversation where she's trying to force him to drop the baby off at the fire station. And he's like, I'm not doing that. And I've learned a lot of things already. And like, and for starters, because she's like smoking in the car. It's like, you're not supposed to smoke in front of babies. She's like, that's only when you're pregnant, stupid. Anyways, I don't believe that. I smoked with you and you're fine. Like, fine, I had asthma for the first 17 years of my life. Can you get rid of asthma?
Yep, happened with my son.
Really?
You can grow out of a lot of...
I didn't know asthma was one of those things you could like outgrow.
Yeah, he had bad asthma.
Yeah.
Really?
Now it's gone completely.
Huh. That's interesting. This is one of those things that I was like, well, I could look it up or we can make conversation of it. So,
I mean, my daughter had a dairy allergy.
yeah, I mean, when you're a baby, though, yeah, there are allergies that you can
Yeah, this happens. In 2 years, she'll be fine or whatever, right? And like, that's like a very common thing. I think as a kid.
I was allergic to grass when I was a baby.
That's a tough one because grass is everywhere.
Yeah. I outgrew it. I'm good now. I can lay in grass all day like a pro.
I had the opposite. I just got all my allergies as I got older. I was like, oh, you're 30. How about blueberries make your mouth go crazy? Like, oh, that sounds fun. Thanks. Let's add that to the list.
Well, much like Jimmy, because that's what Jimmy also says. I'm also allergic to fruit. And that's when his mom kicks him and the baby out of the car and drives off.
It's an odd mom move. A very odd grandma move. You kick the son out, you keep the
I know,
baby.
and I know I already brought it up, and like I know there's an element of tough love she's trying to show him, but That's your like baby granddaughter, and like you're
A little
just
too
gonna be like,
aggressive.
yeah. It's just it's tough for me to find that relatable.
I got real joy vibes from her at this part. From My Name Is Earl. It didn't bring me joy. The character joy is what I mean.
found great joy in seeing that baby get stranded.
The whole like smoking in the car, like that's only when you're pregnant. Like I could hear Joy saying that.
Also, a lot of like driving in like old 80s, like Buick LeSabre type cars too. Like My Name's Earl. Like it feels like the cars are all very similar.
Next scene, we're at the supermarket and he's checking out, and you just see like the baby on like the belts, like going across. And Sabrina happens to be the cashier that's ringing in the order. He sees the baby and smiles, realizes it's the guy from earlier.
This is also when we see that the car seat is from 1974. It's like the most dangerous car seat of all time.
Like, oh, hey, weird guy, nice car seat. Oh, thanks. It's a used one. I could see that. Who used it? Baby Jesus? Like, yeah, it's an earlier model.
It's a great descriptor, though. It's an earlier model.
It's vintage.
And then he's like, hey, I have a question. And like, I feel kind of stupid asking. She's like, no, don't worry about it. Like, go ahead. He's like, all right. So like I was reading in the book that I need to feed babies vegetables and I want to do that. So the only vegetable jars I found have pictures of either black babies or Asian babies. And I don't know if the pictures are random or if like there are specific vegetables that you have to feed black and Asian babies. Like, is there a particular string bean? She's like, no, that's a good question. She's like, the color of the babies in the jar doesn't matter. However, it is really important that you do not feed her anything with the picture of a baby boy on it, or she will end up growing a penis.
This is a 23-year-old man.
And that's how Ferg has a penis.
Thank God. I'm glad that I know he was dumb to ask that question, but he wasn't dumb enough to fall for the penis joke, because I don't think he could have continued the show.
I thought he was gonna fall for the joke, yeah.
I do care, though, that he cares that much about the baby. Where he's like, I want to make sure this is like the right
from
food
the
for
whole
them.
episode. He's trying, right? He's doing his best. He has limited resources, no support system, and he's like a young, immature kid, but he's trying.
He also had no time to prepare beforehand. Like,
right, he just found out a month beforehand that she was pregnant, so. Yeah, so she's killed basically immediately, a month, we said, I think, after she gives birth. So yeah, it's a tough... Do you think she lives in the prison for a month?
That's why she has the jumpsuit.
Yeah, because they established the baby was like 6 months old. That was the whole thing. She was 8 months pregnant, and then like she was 7 months away from like the death penalty or whatever. And so like, oh, they're not going to kill someone at 6 month old.
Okay, so I was wrong then. She should be out of ice underwear by then. Yeah.
So yeah, that's true. It's funny because like, when she told that joke about the baby growing a penis, like you could see Jimmy was a little like, yeah, I know I said it was a stupid question. And then she kind of felt bad. She's like, no, I wasn't prepared for that. And the boss runs up holding 2 honeydew with funny faces drawn on them. He's like, oh, the produce doodler's back.
My favorite serial killer of all time, by the way, is the produce doodler.
And like, obviously, you know, that's something Sabrina's just doing at work because she's bored.
Jay's been known as the produce diddler.
That's true. Also honeydew.
Honey, don't.
We're back at the house now, and we see the exterior shot of Mike riding a bike, holding his pants on the hanger because he doesn't want to like wear them to the like while he's riding the bike. That was his concern earlier, going to the rave, like in his pants getting messed up. And we cut inside, and we see Virginia and Mama, who I believe is just wearing an old lady bra.
Yeah, it feels almost like a sports bra.
Yeah, but it's like big.
Oh, that's just old lady bras.
Yeah.
Our new business, S1E1, old lady bras.
Yeah. Yeah, I go to our shop and I get our S1E1 branded old lady bras.
Casper Jackson on every nipple.
We can make those T-shirts with the fake bra over it.
Or like the old the oversized T-shirts you get like South Beach, Florida. It's like a skinny bikini lady body. We actually should do that.
It's an old lady body.
I think they sell tall tees at T-Public, so we could do it. So it was just on one of those.
They're playing cards. Bert's walking around. He's trying to identify his smell, and he's like, "Oh!" It ends up being the baby. He's like, "Your baby stinks." All right, I'll change her. I knew I'd have to do this sooner or later. No big deal. And I'll defer back to the 2 dads over here. Like, do you remember your first diaper?
No, actually, I don't remember the first time.
I do, just because
I remember the first solid poop. because it was like, wow.
Yeah, that's a big one. But the first babies don't poop at first.
No.
There's like a name for it. It's like whatever's like in their bodies from like being inside of the womb or whatever. It's like the first couple poops you get are like just this really weird thing where like you're almost looking into like a scientific experiment. You're like, what is that? There's a term for it. So I remember that very much being like, what is this? To my wife being like, is this okay? She divorced me and I have not seen her in 6 months.
He brings the baby to the other room. And he's about to change Princess Beyonce's diaper. And he's like, all right, we got this. And he opens it up and he just like, you see him go like, oh. And then the next shot is him running down the hallway and just going like, I need paper towels. And his mom's like, what happened? He's like, I threw up on the baby. And now he's like about to clean the baby off and like wrapping paper towels around his hands when his mom walks in. It's like, you have got to be kidding me. How in the world? And then she instantly starts puke. You see her puke onto the baby. You don't see the baby in the shot, but she pukes down onto it. And that makes Jimmy puke onto the baby. And then it's just, they cut to the baby's face and the baby spits up too.
The callback for this too is equally funny. Like, this is really good writing.
I didn't expect to see like the puking the way they showed it. I mean, I know it was like TV puke. It wasn't like disgusting looking by any means, but they gave us more than I thought for people puking onto a baby.
Amen.
It was like SNL when someone pukes. It's always like the tube in their shirt sleeve. Or it's like, whoa, just like shoots out like a spray paint can.
It's like a Guar concert.
Yeah.
You didn't go with Mafia?
To be fair, that scene is like imprinted on my soul of him trying to eat
Forever.
fruit with the burned face and everyone throwing up. It's like the one scene of that movie that's like hard to still watch because it turns my stomach.
And he comes out later on and flashes again. And Jimmy's walking into the living room where everyone else, he's like, oh, all clean. And she really liked the bath. Like, I think we're going to make it like a weekly thing. And then he says how since the lights out time at prison was 7:30, I think it's time for Grandma and Grandpa to come give Princess Beyonce a kiss goodnight. And they both like completely ignore him. And
I thought that was really strange.
I was like, oh, come on. He's like, all right, then I'll be back in 5 minutes. Deal me in the next hand. And then you cut to the baby crying and you can see on the clock that it's 6 hours later. The baby's like still in hysterics. Virginia walks in and she's like, Jimmy, it's been 6 hours. Like, people are trying to sleep. You've got to get this baby to shut up. He's like, already? Please, Mom, let me play with it for 5 more minutes, please. I did like that line. I think that was his best line of the whole episode, by the way.
Yep.
Because that's like your brain has snapped at that point where he's like, I will not take anybody's shit.
Well, he's like, yeah, like, what the fuck do you want me to do? Like, I don't want this either. And a flash forward is a couple more hours and Bert walks in. Jimmy, do I need to remind you that we both have work tomorrow? Maybe you can sleepwalk your way through skimming leaves, but I got to be fresh. I got pH levels to balance. That's science.
I love that too, because like, Ferg, you've had a pool growing up too, right? Like the pH level is literally just like 3 little jars that you shake and you're like, close enough. Like there's no actual science to that. But the colors are close enough. I don't do anything, right?
By the way, we keep talking about like songs too, like Stuck in the Middle with You's playing during this part of the montage. I feel like you guys are probably in the same boat as me. Is that forever linked
Reservoir Dogs?
to Reservoir Dogs now? Is that all you I can't hear that song and not think of that scene now. It's like a forever.
He just cuts Hope's ear off.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
It talks into it. Oh, what was that? What was that? He makes fun of Hope for being a cop.
One of the biggest disservices I think we ever got was we never got the Vega Brothers movie.
Yeah.
I wish that Quentin Tarantino just never talked about all the other stuff he was supposedly working on.
I just
Like
wish he
that-
never talked.
I still just hope his last one is a James Bond movie.
It's going to be another weird like reaccounting of like a historical thing. That's what he does now.
Yeah, but I kind of love that too.
Anyways, to get back into this, Jimmy is basically trying everything. And eventually Mike gets home from a rave with some girl and like, he's got like a weird pimp hat on and he's got like paint on him and a light up binky. He's like, oh, Jimmy, you missed a hell of a party. And then we cut forward again. And now like Jimmy is at the end of his rope. It's like morning time. And he's like talking to the baby. He's like, I don't know what you want. We walked, you cried. We rocked, you cried. We ate, you cried. We drank, you cried. He's like, maybe you just want to cry. Is that it? Like, would you like me to cry with you? Because I feel like crying. And then his parents both walk in and just like shove him aside. And Bert sits down and starts playing guitar. And Virginia heads over to the crib and starts singing Danny's song, which this might be my ignorance. I was today's years old. I did not know Kenny Loggins wrote this song.
Yeah, it's a Loggins Messina song, but Anne Murray's like the version we all knew.
Right.
This song is a perpetual, and people younger than us won't remember this, but like if you were night owls, you watched 10,000 commercials of compilation CD cassettes, and like the soft rock one, they played the clip of Anne Murray singing the hook of this song once an hour, every hour for our fucking entire childhood. So it's like burnt in our brains.
And I think because that version became so popular, but like I had no idea Kenny Loggins wrote this song. He actually wrote it for his brother Danny Loggins. That's why it's Danny's song when Danny had a baby. So
He had a kid, right? Yeah.
Colin.
It'd be funny if he did if they sang a different Kenny Loggins song, like this burst into the Caddyshack theme instead.
Yeah. Footloose.
To go to sitcoms as well, I always laugh when they're in Miami in the office, and it's Jim and Stanley in the car, and he's like, put some Loggins Messina in. He's like, did I say anything about Messina? Like, he only wants Kenny Loggins solo.
She starts singing the song, and she's saying, this used to work with you, and like tells them to dim the lights. And she keeps singing, and then eventually it flashes to like 20 years back from when they were young parents, singing to Jimmy when he was like a baby. I thought it was like a really sweet moment. It hit me in the feels a little bit when they did this.
I think I never thought of this song.
I think it was supposed to.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
sure.
it's perfect needle dropping, but like I never thought of the song even in the past 20 years. You know, like it's not a song you hear all the time, right? But like as we get older, I think this songs like this, and like I think songs in general too, right? We become like weepier and older, and things connect in different ways. But like I don't know, hearing them sing this song, I was like definitely like, oh fuck, I can relate so much to this right now.
It's one of those songs when you actually think about it too. It's like this wasn't a by accident song. When you think like lyrically and stuff, this was like perfect for the situation that this family exists in.
Question: with music rights, like that's a Kenny Loggins song, but they sang the other version. Do they have to pay rights to both people?
Well, that's really the original version is basically the same.
Yeah, so when you buy rights to a song, but you're singing it, it's just to the rights holder. So the person who wrote the song. So like Anne Murray didn't get anything from this because it was like her arrangement or anything. It was, and I think that again, like Jay said, the arrangement's pretty similar. So like whoever, if you do that and you sing it yourself, you just pay whoever owns the like copyright to the melody, the lyrics, the music.
I actually learned a lot about that listening to the Office Ladies podcast.
What if somebody covered like the Alien Ant Farm version of Smooth Criminal? Would they have to only pay the estate of Michael Jackson?
No, because it's not different enough. They don't like change enough. So you'll notice sometimes if people like rearrange a song, or like you'll notice a lot in like old folk music or old like country music, like people take like traditional songs, it'll be like traditional arranged by, because like they change something or change lyrics. So when if their version was different enough, they'd get like partial credit for being like adapted by, but it's basically just like them playing it on like shitty 90s guitar. So it's not different enough to like make it, or they like change enough lyrics or anything to be like they have a piece of it. Which also sucks too for them, because their biggest hit means they made no money on that, because the rights you get for playing a song are like 99% less than writing the song. So Michael Jackson made so much money off of Alien Ant Farm, and that's so fucking stupid that he used it all to put wine in a can for some poor little boy. Ooh, no, buddy, not tonight.
So we cut back to modern day, and now the baby's finally asleep. And it took so long that it's now morning time. And you see Jimmy just kind of sitting outside by himself, and he's like kind of looking off into like nowhere. And his mom sits out on the porch to join him. And she's asleep. Says, "Are you ready to admit you're not cut out for this?" He's like, "It was the first day. Like, I'm not dropping her at the fire station after one day." And she's like, "Jimmy, you almost killed it. And we threw up on it."
I think it's my favorite line of the whole episode, and we all threw up on it.
I like how they keep referring to it as it.
Yeah, it.
And he's saying, like, "I can't do this without you guys." And she's like, "It's not that we don't want to help you. We can't. We don't know what we're doing either. Like, you knew what you're doing in there." She's like, "We sang a song. Anyone can sing a song. Charles Manson can sing a song." And Bert's like, "He's actually pretty darn good. Mike has his album." And she's like, "He is good."
I mean, to be fair, he is pretty good, but his songs don't have choruses.
Yeah. And
Have you guys ever listened to any of the Charles Manson songs, by the way?
I've heard like snippets. I've never like sat and listened, but I've heard stuff.
I mean, it's like fucking hippy dippy 60s bullshit. It's all very interesting, but it's all very rambling. There's like no, like, it doesn't follow like verse, chorus. Like, it's all just like, look at your game, girl, raindrops. Like, there's like, you never like get brought back around. The hook doesn't bring you back like Blues Traveler has taught us. But it's all pretty good and interesting. He's a good singer. If he just didn't make people muck duck people, he probably would have been successful in some way. Or like, he'd be touring now, we'd be seeing him at like some fucking church. He'd be like, yeah, I used to write the song in the 60s. He'd be opening for Creed Bratton, and it would be the best show of all time.
I recently saw some of his remains when we were in Vegas. Ferg, do you not remember? Did you not see it?
Yeah, the serial killer room. I remember that.
Yeah, like some of his actual remains are in the room.
It was like it was right after the Dr. Kevorkian room, van room.
Oh, the van was in there?
Yeah, they have the actual van.
Okay, look.
You'd love that museum. It's awesome.
Not a serial killer, though. Kevorkian's not a serial killer.
It's not a serial killer museum. It's a haunted museum. It's just about like
potato.
Ed Gein's cauldron that he used to fucking boil up people in too.
Ed Gein, I mean, he didn't kill a lot of people, but I guess he's a serial killer. But like, I feel like poor Jack Kevorkian gets lumped in to the evil people of the world all the time. You're like, he just like, people are like, I have cancer and it hurts. Will you help me go out peacefully? And he was like, yes, I can. I'm a doctor.
You know what it is? If his name was Dr. Smith, it wouldn't be like that. But Kevorkian sounds like an evil name.
And they're like, and he has a death van. Like, oh god, a death van.
It was kind of creepy, but I mean, seeing the van. But anyways,
they also have a trigger when you walk in. It's a sensor, and the van beeps at you. It scares the shit out of you.
But it's the Viper from the early 90s. It's like, Viper is armed. Be aware of the car. Like, aware. Kevorkian was ahead of times.
So as they continue to talk, Virginia's saying to Jimmy, like, are you afraid people are going to look at you different if you give it away? Like, no one's going to look at you differently. And that's what he's like, that's the problem, Mom. I want people to look at me different, okay? Like, I want to feel like I have a purpose. I want people to look at me the way that the baby looks at me, like I'm somebody special. This is a chance for me to do something good.
I feel like that was like the most heartfelt, emotional line of the whole episode. I want to be different. Like, I want people to look at me differently.
Like, I'm not happy with where I sit in life.
Like, kind of, like, you feel for the character for the first time, I think, here.
And it works because this is when the parents finally flip. This is when Virginia's like, well, I always did think I could have done better with a girl. And Bert's like, and they do say you learn from your mistakes, and we've already made all the mistakes there are. And then it's like, well, what are we going to name it? I'm not parading my granddaughter around a church with a name like Princess Beyonce. And Jimmy's like, well, I don't know. What do you think? And she's like, well, I always kind of liked Hope. Like, well, all right, then Hope it is. And then and immediately transitions into, hey, I talked to a cute girl at the grocery store today. Has she killed someone? I don't think so.
The unsurety of that answer.
Yeah.
He didn't think about it. And then they're like, well, you need to grow a pair and take a run at that because you could use another set of hands around here to help keep that baby alive. Well, she thinks I'm kind of weird. And then Bert's like, well, just think how happy she's going to be when she finds out you're normal. I didn't think that was the right line. I think there was like a very easy joke to be made there. And it was like too uplifting.
I like the idea, though, of like super uplifting followed by the
topless granny.
2 scenes we get to like end it. Yeah.
But instead of like the like finds out you're normal, I think it could have rather been like, so what? You're weird. Maybe she likes weird. You could have kept it like that.
I don't know. I like the fact that the family thinks they're normal.
Yeah.
Because like normal is a state of mind, right? Like we all thought our families were normal, and you go to anybody's house and you're a kid and you're like, it's weird over there, right? It's like kind of different. Like it's different as and you get older and you're like, everyone's fucking weird and normal at the same time. But
and at this point, like it's the end of the episode, and now we're hearing the Me First and the Gimme Gimmes version of Danny's song play, which I appreciate. I feel like there was a run where Me First and the Gimme Gimme like covers were used in a lot of songs in the early 2000s for whatever reason.
Cheaper to license.
I loved those albums back then.
That song starts playing, and as that happens, we see Mama like run out of the house topless from the back. And Jimmy's like, I got her. And he goes to chase after her.
If only the show was on HBO, we would have seen full-on frontal Cloris Leachman.
Yeah.
She would have done it, too.
Yeah, 1,000% she would have done it. She's a fucking hero.
And that leaves just Virginia and Bert sitting on the porch together, and we start hearing the baby cry again. And like Bert like almost like gets up to like go back in. It's like, give it a second. And then like the crying stops.
I like that too. It shows that she still has those motherly instincts. She knows it's going to happen.
Now that they kind of like did the thing, now it's all kind of, all right, we got this.
You named it. You acknowledge it's your granddaughter.
Yeah. It was like, we needed this from these characters like desperately. This whole episode was like a connection to this kid.
Berg, you made a great point there, though. You have to name it, right? Once you name it, it's yours.
I was worried that the dad was going to end up being not very redeemable, because he kind of had that just like redneck dickhead vibe in the beginning, but I'm glad that went away.
Yeah, I think if they were going to make him irredeemable, he would have been the stepdad, because they're, redneck.
Yeah, true.
It's not his family. He's not connected, yeah.
The last shot we see is the baby in the crib and has like Mike's light up rave binky in her mouth.
Fucking raver binky in her mouth.
Gross. I wonder where that binky's been.
Yeah, not in good places, and definitely had ecstasy on it.
But like low key, it's also telling you like Mike being his character too is still like there to help, because we think the baby just stopped crying on her own, when in reality, Mike got up and was like here and like gave it a binky.
I like to think too that it was the producers being like, this is our salute to Mike, who will not be back in this show. This character makes no sense. Like, we don't need a secondary cousin. There's too many family members. We get friends here. And then, like you mentioned earlier, like Kate Michucci comes in and you're like, we don't have room for a weird cousin who lives in a tent in the laundry room. So like, this is your send off. Your raver binky gets to say goodbye for you.
It's funny you like her and hate Zooey Deschanel, because she's super quirky too.
They exist in a very similar universe for sure.
I think because I really like Garfunkel and Oates though, and like them as a tag team, like it counteracts each other.
And that's a show I think we'll definitely cover sooner than later.
I watched it when it came out, but I felt like it was a little sketchy. Like, it's a sitcom, but I guess it follows an arc. Like, it follows like a linear line, yeah.
Especially if we throw it in the theme month. But anyways, with that being said, that's the entirety of the episode. And we've talked for quite a while about this one, as I kind of expected would happen. So with that being said, I kind of want to just dive right into the green light or cancel. Joe, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I watched this one, which I don't always do with my wife. And we're talking about it. And we usually talk about our shows that we're going to watch that night, because we usually watch them on the Wednesday. And she was like, I've heard of that show. This feels like the kind of show that we would watch and just kind of like mindlessly do stuff in the background. And I was like, maybe, we'll see. I don't know. And then at midnight, I was like, we have to go to bed. We're on like episode 11 of the first season. And I was like, well, at that point, it's a green light, right? Like, we just kept watching it. And then to reiterate that point, we're both retired tonight. We're making dinner. She's like, I wish we were just on the couch tonight watching more of that dumb show that we didn't turn off. I was like, okay, that's a win. When everybody in the house is just like, this was fun enough to just put on in the background. I don't think it's the greatest show of all time. I love the cast. I think it's very funny. Obviously, the world and the writing style of Garcia is like, My Name is Earl shows, and we like talk about the cars and different stuff. I'm gonna continue watching this. I think 4 seasons is actually perfect for a show like this. I feel like otherwise a show like this is gonna get so long in the tooth where like they're gonna have to like jump the age of the kid, where all of a sudden like in the end seasons of Fresh Prince, where it's like, wait, was that baby a baby last season and now he's 8? Like, you hit a point where like kids have that weird age on a sitcom where you can't just keep them there. So I think 4 seasons, which would be like 80 episodes, is kind of perfect. I really enjoyed this. Green light.
Mark.
Yeah, green light for me. I haven't been shy about how much I love this show. I had the same experience as Joe. Me and his wife watched it. No, I'm just kidding.
You son of a bitch.
I put on one episode just to check it out, and before I knew it, I was done with the first season. And I love My Name is Earl. I think it's very similar, that world. And I didn't even know it was a My Name is Earl creator show. I remember saying to you guys, this show feels just like My Name is Earl, and then I looked it up later. I like the semi-adult humor, like the baby flipping around and stuff like that. It's the brave stuff that Fox used to do that doesn't do anymore. And I like all the characters. I know you didn't love Jimmy too much. I like Jimmy a lot, and I can't think of anyone I didn't like on this show. So yeah, it gets a green light from me. I really enjoyed rewatching this again, even though I just finished the series.
Nick.
This show, like this, the whole My Name is Earl feel about this show, like scratched an itch for me. Like, it was a really fun. I loved My Name is Earl, and it was nice to see something in the same vein again, because it really it's unique, right? And it's tough to be unique now when you're making shows. I know this is, over 15 years old now, but I think the point still stands. So yeah, this is it's a really easy green light. I really enjoy the cast. I really enjoy the story, and I am very simply put eager to keep watching this show. So yeah, it's a pretty simple green light from me.
So, it's funny because I feel like when I first was watching it, I was like pretty ready to cancel originally, and it warmed up to me. I have such an issue with I loved the writing, I love the story. I don't love some of the casting, and I think if I continue to watch, that might change. But the people playing, well, you already said Mike leaves, but then even like Jimmy and his father Bert, like both of them, like wasn't sold on the people playing them. I thought there were maybe some better people they could have went with that would have had a better dynamic. But I think there's more positive than negative. I think I could acclimate to the way at which the things are delivered with the cast we have. But yeah, I don't know, that was my one hang up, and it's obviously a big thing is like if you're not completely sold on the people portraying the roles. But I thought the writing was so good, and the storytelling was great, and there was some really funny moments that happened along the way. The surprise electric chair and all that kind of stuff was really great. So I'm going to greenlight it as well. I'm just a little more hesitant than you guys were because I fear that I don't love some of the actors enough to want to watch them over and over and over. With that being said, that's already 4 out of 4. So regardless of Gordo's vote, but which will be represented later in the graphic anyways.
But I'm guessing by the poop, it's a green light.
Yeah. So congratulations to Raising Hope. You get the green light with us. I want to thank everyone who listens. Go to s1e1pod.com. Rate, review, subscribe, do all the generic things every podcast asks you to do. Hit us up, talk to us, S1E1pod on social media. We love talking to you guys. Suggest other shows that you might want us to cover. We love interacting with you guys in general. But yeah, with all that being said, we'll see you next week with another new episode. Thank you. Goodbye.
I think we got the best Mahmood. Never mind, sorry.